Live from the Maverick Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey. As tonight's the opener of a three-game series as the Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. It's going to be a fun week here at Maverick Center as the Tahoe Night Monsters are in town, and you can't underestimate the importance of this series and the Grizzlies' pursuit of a playoff spot. Utah tonight is currently 12 points behind the 4 seed, and that's Tahoe. And obviously the top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs. Tahoe right now has 57 standings points, and the Grizzlies are in 7th place with 45 points. So the Grizzlies 12 points back, and obviously points the Grizzlies get will be ones that Tahoe doesn't get here this week. And so if the Grizzlies play well, winning 2 out of 3 games, maybe even winning all 3, Utah can quickly find themselves back within about 6 or 7 points of a playoff spot. Well, the Grizzlies played pretty well last week on the road in Allen, Texas, where they got 3 out of a possible 4 standings points. Both games went in overtime last week. The Grizzlies last Friday got a 3-2 winner as Tyler Gratton, the Grizzlies captain, scored 2:20 into OT. Grizzlies got a first-period goal from Neil Shea and a third-period goal from Riley Connors. Allen outshot Utah 41-39. On Saturday night, it was Allen getting a 2-1 overtime victory. Danny Genev scored Utah's lone goal 5:04 into the first period. Utah scored first in each of the 2 games in the series in Allen. Allen got a second-period goal from Michael Gildon and an OT game winner from Andre Anania. Allen outshot Utah 35-33, and in that game, Hunter Miska made his Grizzlies season debut. It was his 6th game overall in a Utah uniform, and he saved 33 of 35. Last weekend, the defensive unit and the goaltending was outstanding. Kyle Kaiser picked up a victory last Friday as he saved 37. I actually saved 39 of 41. Math is hard sometimes. Kaiser's been outstanding not only in the Grizzlies uniform, but he's got a .947 save percentage in 11 games in the American Hockey League with the Colorado Eagles. Well, we got a pretty good Wednesday night crowd filing in here to Maverick Center. If you're in the West Valley area, come on out and join us. If not, obviously, we got the game on Flow Sports and audio coverage on the Grizzlies YouTube channel. Well, the Grizzlies made a few roster moves. There's 2 different defensemen making their home debut. Andrew Noel, who was acquired last week in a trade with Cincinnati, will hit the Maverick Center ice for the first time as a pro. And there's another defenseman that signed earlier today celebrating a birthday, and it's a day he'll never forget. We'll talk about him on the other side. We're in business on a Wednesday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to Grizzlies hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. It's the opener of a 3-game series as the Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters. It's been a pretty good February for Utah. They have a standing point in 7 of 9 games in the month with a record of 4-2-3. Well, earlier today, the Grizzlies signed defenseman Dylan Gratton, and it is the younger brother of Tyler Gratton. So there's now 2 pairs of brothers on the Grizzlies. John and Mike Gillette are 2 forwards on the Grizzlies, and obviously now we have Tyler and Dylan Gratton, and both of them are going to be in the Grizzlies lineup. For Dylan Gratton, he played with 3 different colleges. He was at Penn State University for 2 seasons from 2022 through 2024. Both Gratton brothers were teammates for the 2022-23 Penn State club. In 69 games at Penn State, he had 5 goals, 19 assists, and he was a combined plus 16. And so he was outstanding in the plus-minus category at Penn State. Then he transferred and played at the University of Nebraska, Omaha for the 2024-25 season, and he had 2 goals and 12 assists in 35 games. This year, Gratton played at the University of Vermont and appeared in 22 games. Prior to his college days, Dylan was part of the Sioux City Musketeers, and he was part of their 2022 USHL Clark Cup Championship Club. Clark Cup Championship Club. That's what Dylan Gratton was part of in 2022. So it's certainly fun. We got the Gillette brothers. Now we got the Grattons, Tyler and Dylan. Dylan will wear number 25, and he'll be one of 6 defensemen for John Buchanan's crew. And it's also Dylan Gratton's birthday, as he turns 23 today. He was born on February 25th, 2003. I was in middle school at the time. So happy birthday to Dylan Gratton, and he's going to be a strong addition to the Grizzlies for the remainder of the regular season. When we come back, we'll go over the lineups for both teams. We're in business on a Wednesday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in about 12 or 13 minutes from now here from the West Valley area. Come on out and join us as the Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters, not only tonight, but Friday and Saturday night for Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First for the visiting Tahoe Night Monsters, who are led by second-year head coach Alex Lowe. Tahoe's in their second season of existence. They've got a record of 26, 22, and 3. They're currently in 4th place in the ECHL's Mountain Division. They are 2 points behind Allen for 3rd place in the division. They have a 7-point lead over 5th place Wichita. Tahoe's been a 500 club on the road this season. They've got a record of 10, 11, 2, and 1 away from Tahoe Blue Event Center. The Night Monsters are a high-powered offensive club. They're averaging 3.6 goals per game, which ranks towards the top of the league. They've also got an outstanding power play. The power play last week in a series against Idaho was 6 for 18. That was a 3-game series where Tahoe won 2 out of 3 games, and they were 6 for 18 on the power play. And on the season, Tahoe is second in the league with a 24.4 power play percentage. They're sort of in the middle of the pack on the penalty kill. Grizzlies power play had some success against them in a 3-game series in early February. The Night Monsters, through 9 games in February, have a record of 4-4-0-1. Getting the start in net will be Cameron Whitehead. It'll be the first time Whitehead has appeared in a game against the Grizzlies this season. Cameron Whitehead currently has a record of 12, 8, 1, and 2. He has 2 shutouts, a 2.80 goals against average, and 927 save percentage. Whitehead was a 4th-round draft pick by the Vegas Golden Knights, 128th overall back in 2022. The backup goaltender is Connor McAnamy, and Jordan Paperny, who had faced the Grizzlies many times this season. He is a scratch and out of the lineup. For the Tahoe Night Monsters, one guy to watch out for. He's not a starter tonight, but Jordan Gustafson. picked up Tahoe's third hat trick of the season last Saturday in Idaho. In fact, Gustafson is the reigning league player of the week. He had 6 points in a 3-game series against Idaho. And you got to watch out for Gustafson, who's got an NHL contract with the Golden Knights. In 21 games, he has 6 goals and 16 assists. The starting defensive pairing for Tahoe includes Kalen Taylor. He'll be wearing number 5. He was Clarkson's captain last season, and he's a first-year pro. He's a +4 this season. He has 1 goal and 12 assists in 47 games. And he'll be paired up with Artur Cholach, who's wearing number 47. Cholach is a +12 in 35 games and has 2 goals and 7 assists. So he's starting defensive pairing once again is Taylor and Cholach. We will see Lyndon Algier, who's a +4 this season. He's wearing number 7. And he's going to be paired up with Samuel Maillet, who's making his 43rd appearance this season. Maillet is a big defenseman at 6'3" and 203 pounds. He has 11 goals and 13 assists in 42 games. And we'll also see Mike Van Unen paired up with C.J. Valerian. So that's the 6th defenseman for the Night Monsters. Starting forwards include Michael Leary, who's wearing number 10. He's got 9 goals and 16 assists in 45 games. Connor Merritt, number 14, will also be a starter for Tahoe. He has 4 goals and 6 assists in 30 games. And Jake McGrew's had some success against Utah this year. In 41 games, McGrew has 14 goals and 8 assists. So that's the starting forwards, O'Leary, Merritt, and McGrew. We mentioned to watch out for Jordan Gustafson, the reigning league player of the week. Luke Adam, the Tahoe captain, is a former NHLer with both Buffalo and Columbus. He is 6'2" and 207 pounds, and he has 16 goals and 23 assists in 48 games. So watch out for Luke Adam, and also watch out for Devin Poliani, who's got 23 goals in 51 games, and Trent Swick has 18 goals in 46 games. Sloan Stanek was just sent back to Tahoe from the AHL's Henderson Silver Knights, and Stanek's been an outstanding performer this year with 15 goals and 19 assists in 29 games. You also got to watch out for Kevin Wall, who in 32 games has 15 goals and 22 assists. Jake Derflinger played well against the Grizzlies in February. He'll be wearing number 16 for Tahoe tonight. One former Grizzly on the Tahoe roster, and it's Blake Wells, and he is currently he's a scratch tonight. It's unlikely he'll play all week. So that's the Tahoe Night Monsters, who average 32.6 shots per game. They allow 37.8. Grizzlies did have some success against them in early February, winning 2 out of 3 games in a series where the Grizzlies scored 19 goals. And they were outstanding, scoring 9 third-period goals in that 3-game set. Now for the homestanding Utah Grizzlies, led by first-year head coach John Buchanan. Assistant coach is Ryan Anderson. Jack Skilly is assistant coach and director of skill development. Head equipment manager is DJ McFarland. Assistant equipment manager is Miles Stewart. And the head athletic trainer is Brooke Timoney. Grizzlies come in with a record of 19-25-7. They are 4-13-4 here at home as Grizzlies look for their 5th home victory of the season. Getting the start in net's going to be Kyle Kaiser. He is 6'2" and 179 pounds. This will be his 10th appearance this year. Kaiser's got a record of 5-3 in a Utah uniform with a 2.39 goals against average and .917 save percentage. Kaiser picked up a shutout in his Grizzlies debut on November 7th at Wichita. And his American Hockey League stats are even better than his stats as a Grizzly. In 11 games with Colorado this year, he's got an 8-1-1 record with a .943 save percentage and 1.49 goals against average. So watch out for Kyle Kaiser tonight. He'll be wearing number 38. The backup goaltender is Hunter Miska, who stopped 33 of 35 last Saturday at Allen. Goaltenders Anson Thornton and Jacob Musatelli are scratches. Grizzlies are rolling with 12 forwards and 6 defensemen tonight. The starting defensive pairing includes Colby Enns, who played about 29 minutes last Saturday in Allen. He is 6'2" and 201 pounds. He's got a +1 rating this year. And in 42 games, Enns has 4 goals and 6 assists. He'll be paired up with Aiden Hansen-Bukata, who's been outstanding for the Grizzlies this year. AHB leads Utah with 30 assists this season. He also has 3 goals. AHB's making his 48th appearance this year. He's a first-year pro out of RIT and The Ohio State University. So Enns and Hansen-Bukata are the starting defensive pairing. You also see Luke Salem out there wearing number 6. He is 5'10" and 181 pounds. He has 1 goal and 14 assists this year. Kaiser We also see Dylan Gratton making his professional debut. Gratton is celebrating his 23rd birthday this year. He played in 22 games this season at the University of Vermont. Andrew Noel is making his Maverick Center debut. It's his third game as a Grizzly. He is 6'1" and 196 pounds. He was acquired in a trade last week from Cincinnati for the rights to Christian Felton, who's currently up in the AHL with Abbotsford. And we'll also see Matu Boilar, who's got 3 fighting majors this year. Boilar is 6'2" and 225 pounds. He picked up his first point of the season 9 days ago in the Grizzlies' last home game on February 16th against the Bloomington Bison. The defensive scratches for the Grizzlies include Luke Antonacci, Robbie Stucker, as well as Sage Weinstein and Noah Gansky. Yesterday, defenseman Avery Winslow was released. The starting forwards for the Grizzlies include Luke Manning, who's making his 33rd appearance this year. Manning has 5 goals and 12 assists. He's got an even plus-minus rating. Neil Shea will also be in the starting lineup for the Grizzlies. Shea has 8 goals and 14 assists in 28 games. Shea last week returned after missing 17 straight games. He scored a goal in one of his first shifts back last Friday in Allen. As Grisby comes out with the Grizzlies, well, it looks like Grisby needs some skating lessons as he's skating towards neutral ice. Grizzlies come out of the tunnel wearing a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. We mentioned Manning and Shea are starting forwards, as well as Maxim Barbashev. He's wearing number 92. Barbashev has 3 goals and 8 assists in 27 games. Also watch out for the forward line of Tyler Gratton, along with Evan Friesen and Reed Webster. Webster's got 28 goals this season, which ranks second in the league. Danny Genev is going to be out there on a forward line with Riley Connors and Stepan Timofeyev. And we will also see the forwards of Mikey Colella, who's wearing number 96. He'll be out there with John Gillette, the first-year pro out of Holy Cross. And also in the Grizzlies lineup will be Yaroslav Yevdokimov, who's got 1 goal and 1 assist in 6 games in a Grizzlies uniform. Let's get the announcement of the starters here at Maverick Center from public address announcer Mark Larson.
The most valuable Bear, Grisby! Starting on defense wearing number 5, Kobe N. On defense wearing number 20, Aiden Hanson Buchanan. At forward wearing number 16, Luke Manning. At forward wearing number 22, Neil Shea. At forward wearing number 92, Maxim Barbashev. And protecting our goal tonight wearing number 38, Kyle Kaiser.
So that's the starters for the Grizzlies. Kaiser in net. He's making his 10th appearance as the Grizzlies. Also appeared in 11 games of the AHL's Colorado Eagles. You can't underestimate the importance of this particular series for the Grizzlies and their playoff hopes. If the Grizzlies can play well in these 3 games against Tahoe, they will open themselves up with a pretty good chance in March, especially with Kaiser and Miska as the goaltending combination. Well, the Grizzlies have been outstanding offensively in the month of February. They have 38 goals in 9 games in the month. Utah, in their last 15 games, have been outstanding on the power play with a 16 for 52 clip. Both clubs have been outstanding on the power play over the last couple of weeks, so special teams might play a factor in tonight's game. Now we'll have our colors and our national anthem here at Maverick Center on this Wednesday night here in late February.
Now, please rise and remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem performed tonight by Eisenhower Junior High Choir.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Tahoe Night Monsters in the opener of a 3-game series. Well, for the Grizzlies, they add defenseman Dylan Gratton to the mix. He's celebrating his 23rd birthday as the younger brother of Tyler Gratton, as the Grizzlies defensive unit, which obviously has had a bunch of injuries, including in the month of February to Sage Weinstein and Noah Gansky. For the as well as Luke Antonacci, Robbie Stucker, hopefully is a week or two away from coming back. Stucker's been solid for the Grizzlies over a couple-month stretch. The defensive unit's going to have to come up big for the Grizzlies against a very high-power Tahoe offense. It's averaging 3.6 goals per game this season. Tahoe has scored 13 goals in their last 2 games, both of them victories against Idaho. Kyle Kaiser's getting the start in net for Utah. And for Tahoe, it's going to be Cameron Whitehead, who's got a .927 save percentage on the year. Referees tonight are Jamie Pavia and Luke Gagnon. Puck is dropped and we're underway. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it from high atop section 114 as Hanson Bucanda drives it in. Tahoe skates from left to right as they ice the puck, and we get our first whistle 12 seconds into the game. Tahoe's wearing a white jersey with teal numbers, black lettering on the back of the jersey, and a little bit of black on the shoulders. Who's your pick to click? Who's going to be the player of the game for the Grizzlies? I'm going to go with Luke Manning as my pick. I know that some other people have submitted their pick to click. I believe that Debbie's going to go with Luke Manning, and Miss Melissa's going to go with one of the Gillette brothers. I know that Michaela is picking Evan Friesen, and we also got a pick for Riley Connors. As 20 seconds in, Tahoe enters the offensive zone. Michael Leary gets a good shoulder check from Maxime Barbashev. Barbashev, a second-year pro. He played with Bloomington last season as well as some time in the AHL with Hartford. Manning's got the puck. He skates towards the middle of the ice. He veers off to his left. Manning chips it to Shea over the offensive blue. Shea centers it. And a righty shot, and that's blocked. Shot was taken by Reed Lepster. He's got 28 goals this season. He's also 4th in the league in shots on goal. Shea in the right corner as we played 50 seconds. As Lepster gets the puck, he's over in the right corner. Gets it across to Shea. Left side now up top to Dylan Gratton. He fires lefty shot, and it's blocked by Friesen. Dylan Gratton in his first shift as a professional, signed yesterday. Played at the University of Vermont earlier this season. As Tahoe enters the offensive zone 2-on-2, they slide to the middle of the ice. Lefty shot, save, rebound shot, and a score. And the reigning league player of the week, Jordan Gustafson. He scored a hat trick last Saturday in Idaho, and Gustafson, it wasn't the first shot, but it was the second that finds its way past Kaiser. And the Night Monsters take a 1-0 lead, 1:09 in. So Gustafson gets his 7th goal of the year. First shot ricocheted off the glove of Kaiser. Gustafson got it back, and it looked like the second shot ricocheted off Kaiser's glove, but just trickled past Kaiser and past the goal line. So Gustafson gets his 7th goal of the year. The assists go to Sloan Stanek and Lyndon Algier. Stanek was just recently sent back to Tahoe from the AHL's Henderson Silver Knights. Stanek gave the Grizzlies all sorts of fits last season. Tahoe's got the puck in the offensive zone. They lead 1-0. Left point, lefty shot, saved by Kaiser. Shot was taken by Mike Van Unen, the former Allen American who has 1 goal in 23 games. So the Night Monsters had the first 3 shots on goal, including Jordan Gustafson getting his 7th of the year. Evan Friesen will take the dries out there with Reed Lepster and Tyler Gratton. First shift on the Mavericks center ice for Andrew Noel. Off the draw, left wing shot. Ricochets off the stick and it goes out of play. Noel played in both games last week for Utah, as he just recently was acquired in a trade with Cincinnati. Utah will switch up skaters, and they'll get the forward line of Danny Genev out there with Stepan Timofeyev and Riley Connors, and a defensive pairing of Luke Salem and Dylan Gratton, as Gratton's taking his second shift here as a Grizzly. just getting underway, so grab some chips and dip and a beverage of your choice and enjoy part of Wednesday with us. Utah wins a draw. They get out to center ice. 2-on-1. Timo Feyev races towards the right circle. There's to Genev. Shot and a score! Timo Feyev to Genev to the back of the net. And the Grizzlies tie it up a minute 35 in. Boy, buckle up. This is going to be a fun series here at Maverick Center. Grizzlies scored 19 goals in 3 games against Tahoe 3 weeks ago. Timo Feyev raced towards the right circle as Utah to 2-on-1. Timo Feyev found a cutting Genev who ricocheted the puck off the right ankle of Cameron Whitehead as Genev finds the back of the net for the 17th time this season as he now ranks second in the club in that category. Riley Connors and Stepan Timo Feyev each pick up the assists. Obviously, Timo picked up the main assist. He now has 15 helpers on the year. Riley Connors now has an assist in back-to-back games. He has 7 assists on the year. So we're tied at 1, and the chairs aren't yet warm here at Maverick Center. And unfortunately, in some cases, the chairs aren't occupied yet. Dylan Gratton over the offensive line, drops to Connors, left wing, righty shot goes wide. Puck will trickle off the far wing boards. Genev in the right point gets the puck, and he'll slide it to the middle of the ice where it's taken by Lyndon Algier. And now Michael Leary takes the puck. He's wearing number 10. He's been a pro for many years, 9 goals and 16 assists this year. As O'Leary gains center ice, gets to the Utah line, and he'll chip it into the right corner. As Andrew Noel gets the puck, he'll pivot along the wing as he'll throw it up top. As keeping it in is Tahoe's number 79, Eric Olson, just a recent addition to the Night Monsters club. As Lepster has a flub off his stick towards the near wing boards. As the Grizzly gets hit in the back, and that was Lepster, who got hit by number 79, Olson, who's 6'1", 196 pounds. Lepster's got the puck. He pivots along the far wing wall. As he dangles back and forth, gets towards center ice, nudges it ahead off the stick of number 47, Artur Cholach. He's a +12 this season for Tahoe. We played close to 3 minutes, and we're tied at 1. Tahoe's outshot Utah 3-1. As Grizzlies, Danny Genev scored on Utah's first shot of the game, 1:35 in. Tahoe floats it forward. Kaiser plays it behind his net as Hanson Buchanan gets it across towards Colby Ends. As we played 3 minutes, Tyler Gratton with a right wing feed out to Lepster. Will nudge it ahead. Friesen gets it off the board, skates towards the right corner, blows a tire, tries to get back to his feet, and the puck goes towards Samuel Maye, or at least that's what the pronunciation guide says. Well, it looks like the ice is having some issues over to the side that Tahoe's defending in the first period. As Kallela over towards Yevdokimov, gets hit in the back by Lyndon Algier. As Kallela has a glance off his stick as it slides around the boards behind Tahoe's net. John Gillette gets the puck. He skates towards the right corner. Across the Yevdokimov, it gets cut off by Algier. Kallela dances around in the left circle. As glanced off 2 sticks, Hanson Buchanan across the ends. Right point, righty shot, saved by Whitehead. Rebound goes towards the near wing wall. It's taken by Jake Durflinger. As glanced off his stick, Grizzlies get it in deeper in the Tahoe zone as Utah will fit in a full line change. We played close to 4 minutes, and we're tied at 1. As the Night Monsters took the first 3 shots of the game, as Algier backhands it in from center ice, Grizzlies responded with 2 unanswered shots, including the goal by Genev 1:35 in, as he's now second in the club with 17 goals on the season. Jay gets held up as Luke Manning takes the puck, crosses center ice. Manning chips it forward, and he gets belted by C.J. Valerian, who didn't play in any of the 3 games early February in Tahoe. 7th meeting this season between the clubs, and this is the first time Night Monsters have been here at Maverick Center this season. Dylan Gratton backhands it ahead. He's wearing number 25 for the Grizzlies. He is 6 feet and 180 pounds. Tyler Gratton, his older brother, is just a little bit bigger than him. As Neil Shea dances around, he's in the near point of the Grizzly zone. A slided center ice pass behind Barbashev. As the Night Monsters re-enter, toe drag, Poliani with a righty shot that goes wide. Devin Poliani has 23 goals in 51 games this season. He's a high scorer for Tahoe this season. As Luke Adam whips the puck around the boards, he's wearing the captaincy for the 2nd straight year for Tahoe. Behind the net, Dylan Gratton will throw it to the near corner as Connors gets there astride ahead of Kalen Taylor, the former Clarkson University captain. Dylan Gratton backhands it ahead to Timo Feyev, who races over the offensive blue. Left point, he'll tap it off a stanchion. Puck slides behind Tahoe's net. As the puck off a skate, Genev over in the right corner. Centers to Connors. Connors left circle, lefty shot. A righty shot kick saved by Whitehead as he fired away from the left circle. Now Connors, center ice, he'll fire back in as the Grizzlies will reshuffle the deck and get a fresh set of forwards. As Genev over in the left corner, as he stayed out there as the puck was in the Tahoe zone. Now Night Monsters cross center ice. McGrew gets it, slides to the middle of the ice. Tahoe takes lefty shot, blocker saved by Kaiser. 14-14 on a moving clock first period. A lot of fun action here early on. Off of Timofeyev's stick at center ice. It's floated towards the Utah line, gloved and dropped by Boilar. Now O'Leary gets it, left circle, toe drag, lefty shot, saved by Kaiser, who came in front of his crease to cut off the shooting angle. Puck ricochets off the top of the boards and flings all the way deep into the Night Monster zone. Tyler Gratton with a rough ride on the boards, but it was Kalen Taylor, it was Lyndon Algier who threw himself, and the glass goes swaying back and forth as Algier got more boards and glass than he did Gratton. As the puck towards the near side, Gratton gets hit in the back. Action in the Grizzlies zone near side. As Reed Lepster gets the puck, Grizzlies race from right to left here in the first period. Lepster accelerates around one skater, skates towards the left corner. Now he chips it around Tahoe's net. Friesen gets the loose puck in the right corner, gets it up top. Gratton will fire lefty shot, and that one goes high, flipping towards the left circle as it hippity hops on the ice, and it's taken back by Jake Derflinger, who's wearing number 16. When the Grizzlies were there last month, they had a Jake Derflinger lookalike contest. He's pretty much a standard guy with a pretty sweet-looking mustache. Derflinger behind Utah's net, bounces towards the middle of the ice. Lefty shot goes wide. That was taken by Kalen Taylor. Oh, he didn't miss by much. Now Taylor gets it back. He's in the right point. Dancing back and forth. He'll slide to the left circle. Pass goes tape to tape as Tahoe has three guys hanging out in the left point, and they almost collide, and Utah takes away the puck. Lepster left wing, crosses center ice, and he'll float it forward to the right corner. Yevdokimov gets it. He's wearing number 19 for the Grizzlies. Seventh game as a Grizzly. They'll slide it back to a spot he vacated, looking for John Gillette. Tahoe gets it back. As the Night Monsters dance around in their own zone, as Sloan Stanek gets it head to center ice. And we mentioned Stanek. He gave the Grizzlies all sorts of fits here at Maverick Center last season. It's his second year as a Night Monster. 12:24 on a moving clock here first period. Grizzlies race out to center ice. Gillette will dump it in as the puck wobbles a little bit, skating towards Whitehead as Night Monsters come up with it. So they skate from left to right here in the period. Stanek wearing number 92. I think he had a different jersey number for Tahoe last season. Kevin Waltz in the middle of the ice looking for Gustafson. It's taken away by Hanson Bukata. AHB will skate deeper into his own zone as he gets belted in the near corner by Kevin Wall, who likes to deliver some hits from time to time. Night Monsters off the boards towards Wall. It goes between his legs and between the legs of Poliani as the puck goes to center ice right wing. Barbashev skates in the middle of the ice. The Grizzly gets pushed into the Tahoe zone, and it was Shea as Barbashev enters on offside. And the whistle blows. 11:47 left in the first. Time out on the ice. Tahoe scored 109 in as Gustafson got his 7th of the year, and the Grizzlies responded just 26 seconds later as Genev got his 17th of the year. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Now we're tied at 1 in what should be a very entertaining series. There's 11:47 left in the first period. Tahoe's Jordan Gustafson scored 109 in. 26 seconds later, Danny Genev picked up his 17th of the year. Genev is now second on the club in goals. Riley Connors extends his point-scoring streak to 4 straight. Picked up an assist along with Stepan Timofeyev, who got the main assist. As Manning over the offensive blue, but the Grizzlies are offside once again. That's the same forward line of Manning, Shea, and Barbashev. Grizzlies had the full complement of 18 skaters tonight. Scratches include defenseman Luke Antonacci, Robbie Stucker, Sage Weinstein, Rylan Kovacevic, Noah Gansky, and Mike Gillette, as well as goaltenders Anson Thornton and Jacob Musatelli. Trot new tries as Riley Connors will take the face-off. He wins it, and it's slapped in by Boilar along the boards. The forward line that's on the ice for the Grizzlies now is the one that scored the goal, 135 in. Genev with the goal, with the assist going to Timofeyev and Connors. It's slid in by Andrew Noel, wearing number 77. First time the Grizzlies fans have seen him in person. 6'1", 196 pounds, 2 goals and 7 assists in 33 games. His third game as a Grizzly, as he played at Ferris State University for 3 seasons. As Genev tried to curl it towards Connors at center ice, and it's picked off by Tahoe. As Merritt dumps it in, he blasts Noel behind Utah's net as Noel on his backside goes sliding. Genev race after loose puck, gets in left circle, lefty shot, kick saved by Whitehead. Boy, Genev went low on Whitehead, and the Tahoe goaltender had to make a great save with his left ankle. As we're tied at 1, 10:41 on the moving clock. Tahoe's outshot Utah 5-4. Should be a very entertaining series. All 6 games in Tahoe were pretty entertaining. Tyler Gratton gets the puck. He'll race to the right wing, gets around one skater. Gratton backhands it towards Friesen. It's cut off in front of the crease. Good defensive play by Samuel Maye, wearing number 95. M-A-Y-E-R his last name, but the pronunciation guide says Maye. As Grizzlies get it towards Friesen, who has a tap off his stick deep in the Night Monster zone. Puck to the far wing, and it's skied by Tahoe. Deep towards the Grizzlies zone. It enters the crease, and Kaiser will kick it towards his right. Grizzlies come back up with it. As Utah back behind their own net. Ahead to Gratton, goes past him. He didn't get a piece of it, according to the linesman. So icing is on Utah with 9:57 left in the first. So Draw's going to come back towards Kyle Kaiser. As it's been his first home game for Kaiser in quite some time, as he had spent a good 2 months in the AHL with the Colorado Eagles, where he had plenty of success. Kaiser's a 7th-year pro. He's played in AHL games with Providence and Colorado, and obviously played with Maine in this league earlier in his career. As he's got 6 professional shutouts. As he's been outstanding this season for both Grizzlies and Eagles. Tahoe races around Kaiser's net towards the near side as Kevin Wall gets taken away. Now Wall battles with ends. Puck's taken by Gustafson, the reigning league player of the week, and he's off to a good start with a goal, 109 in. So we're tied at 1. Grizzlies take it away. Friesen slides it across. Hanson Bukata will outlet it to center ice, looking for Webster, but it tapped off his stick. Wall enters down the middle of the ice. He veers off to the right as he gets around ends. He'll take a righty shot. Saved by Kaiser. Now puck behind Utah's net, and it's taken by Colby Ends. Ends, the first-year pro, will crash the puck off the glass as trying to get its Webster. Now Webster gets the puck behind Tahoe's net. He races towards the far side around Tahoe's net. Now whip it back to a spot he vacated as Dylan Gratton gets the puck, wearing number 25. He gets engulfed by a Night Monster as he gets held up along the near corner. Now the puck is taken by Kalen Taylor as he'll skate around his goaltender, Cameron Whitehead. First time Whitehead's faced the Grizzlies. Former 4th-round pick by Vegas. Luke Salem slides it ahead to the left wing for John Gillette, and Gillette will pitchfork it in. Yevdokimov chases after. He gets there about the same time as Maye. Now Salem in the right corner. Stops, gets towards Yevdokimov. Right wing to Gillette. Lefty shot hits the side of the net. Now the puck goes back towards Tahoe. We'll pitch it out to center ice. Puck ricochets off Mikey Colella as the Grizzlies will switch off defensemen as Salem and Gratton come out. Now towards the left wing. Shot saved by Whitehead. Boy, Grizzlies got the puck towards Mikey Colella over in the left circle, and Colella took a lefty shot. Whitehead made the stop as there's 8:30 left in the first period. Tahoe's outshot Utah 7-5. Boy, good shift by the forward line of Gillette, Colella, and Yevdokimov. As Colella was just kind of cutting angle left towards the puck and ricocheted off him onto Whitehead. Fans still filing in here on a Wednesday night. If you're in the West Valley area, still plenty of time to come on out to Maverick Center. Luke Manning will take the drives out there with Barbashev and Shea. As a draw won by Tahoe as they skate around their net. Grizzlies skate from right to left as we see it from section 114. Ahead to Poliani, who crosses center ice. Poliani, he'll throw it towards the corner, but it's picked off by Barbashev. He slides it to neutralize for Shea. It was kind of a soft pass, and it's knifed away by Tahoe. Now Barbashev gets it back, skates towards the middle of the ice, drops it for Shea. He'll take a lefty shot. Blocker saved by Whitehead. Puck towards the left corner. Barbashev will cycle up to Shea, who skates to the right corner. He stops on a dime. He's an outstanding skater. Trying to get to Barbashev, but it ricocheted off his stick onto Luke Adam. 2-on-3. Adam crosses center ice, and he'll skip it in as the Night Monsters make a full line change. Kaiser literally kicked it from a Tahoe player as Poliani tried to play it, along with Kaiser behind Utah's net. Now up top left point. Night Monsters get around the boards as McGrew looked to center, and it's picked up by Barbashev as McGrew is trying to get towards Connor Merritt. Grizzlies cross center ice. Manning drops it for Shea. Across to Noel. Will take a lefty shot, and it's blocked. It was blocked by number 44, Mike Van Unen. As puck at center ice, as Grizzly got held up, it's taken by Dylan Gratton, who looks to be an outstanding skater. Gratton dangles back and forth, trying to slide it towards his right for Genev. It's picked off. Now to the right point. Connors with the righty shot, and it's blocked. McGrew will float it forward towards the Grizzlies bench. Puck up the ops towards Utah's boards, and puck goes back towards Utah. Dylan Gratton slides it towards Salem. I've been impressed with Dylan Gratton here so far. Looks like he's going to be a keeper. Salem backhands it around the boards behind Tahoe's nets, played by Whitehead, as the Night Monsters will sky it towards Grizzlies ice. Hanson Bukata runs it down. He'll drop it. Puck is taken by McKinney. Dawson's his first name. He's a recent addition to the Night Monsters club. Puck to center ice. Timofeyev enters from the right wing, drops to Genev. Genev across the Connors. One-timer, he scores! Riley Connors with a blast from the left circle. He gets his 14th of the year, and the Grizzlies take a 2-1 lead. Boy, great cross-ice pass by Genev. As Connors, he didn't get all of it. He almost fired a change-up past Whitehead stick side. But how about that forward line here in the first period? Connors, Genev, and Timofeyev each combined for Utah's 2 first-period goals. Timofeyev dropped up to Genev in the right point, across to Connors, and he fired a one-timer as Whitehead was sliding towards his right, but he couldn't get there in time. So Connors gets his 14th of the year. That's his 9th goal in the month of February. Genev now has a multiple-point game. He gets his 30th assist of the season. Timofeyev now with a multiple-point game with 2 assists. Grizzlies will throw it into the Tahoe zone as Utah leads 2-1. Puck slides in the middle of the ice, ricochets off 2 sticks and a skate. Gratton gets it towards the right wing for Webster. Webster right side, stops in the corner, feeds up top to Ends. Across to Hanson Bukata, but the puck will exit out to center ice. Grizzlies reset. Ends and Hanson Bukata will each skate into the Grizzlies zone. Ahead to Webster, back to Ends, but it goes past him. Hanson Bukata whips it around the boards. Gratton accepts it, Utah line near boards. And the puck goes back towards Stanek, who slides it towards his left. Mike Van Unen off his stick. He regathers it. The Night Monsters will back it out into their own zone, and the Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Tahoe over the offensive blue. Stanek drops it off, taking to C.J. Valerian. Right point, he'll take a righty shot, and it's blocked by Hanson Bukata. Puck's taken by Gillette. John Gillette ahead towards Mikey Colella, who gets hit in the back by Valerian. Gillette dumps it in and races towards the near corner after it. Mike Van Unen is being back checked by Gillette, and puck ricochets off a couple bodies in the right point as John Gillette trying to get to Yevdokimov, and he does in the right corner. Yevdokimov skates around Tahoe's net. 5:22 on a moving clock. Utah leads 1-0. Noel around the boards as Gillette gets pushed to the wall. Yevdokimov slides it towards Colella. Colella with the lefty shot, but he didn't have much time and space to get anything off as Tahoe ices the puck. And the Grizzlies race over. The whistle blows with 5:06 left in the first period. Boy, how great's Riley Connors been in the month of February. 9 goals and 4 assists in the month. He's already got a multiple-point game with 1 goal and 1 assist. And Danny Genev with a goal and an assist tonight. He now has 14 multiple-point games on the season. And with the assist, Genev is now tied with Aiden Hanson Bukata for the club lead. Those 2 first-year pros have been outstanding this season as they each have 30 assists on the season. Tahoe wins the face-off, and they'll move it out to center ice. Boilar fires it back in. Manning races after it, and he gets there about the same time as Van Unen. This is a pretty quick forward line with Manning, Shea, and Barbashev. As the puck slides towards the far side, Tahoe taps it to center ice for Poliani. He'll feed it behind his back for Luke Adam. Boy, Adam fumbled the puck near the Utah line, but no offside. Manning near the Grizzlies bench will accelerate towards center ice, so one-handed to the right corner. Shea chases after it as Tahoe tries to box out Shea for the puck. As Kalen Taylor behind his own net with Manning battling. Shea on the back check takes it away. Trying to drop it for Manning. He wasn't anticipating it being there as the puck goes back towards Luke Adam. Adam is 35 years old. He's a 15th-year pro. As Swick towards the right point, centers it. It's picked off by Barbashev. Barbashev, rink-wide feed, angle right. It goes past Danny Genev and all the way down for Utah icing. As icing on the Grizzlies with 4:13 left in the first. You know, he mentioned the Grizzlies and their success against Tahoe in early February, where they scored 19 goals in 3 games. On February 4th, Utah won 9-6, and it was a very balanced attack. Grizzlies got 9 goals on just 22 shots that night. February 6th, Utah won 7-4. That's the game where Utah scored 5 goals in a stretch of 4 minutes and 11 seconds late in the third period. And then Tahoe won February 7th with a 4-3 score. As Night Monsters have the puck in the offensive zone, as they're skating from left to right here in the period. As Jake McGrew backhands it, hits the side of the net. Now the puck slides towards the right corner. McGrew gets it back. Up top, Maillet, he'll fire a lefty shot. Glove saved by Kaiser. He holds on. Not sure if they're going to credit Maillet with the shot on goal, as it would have gone wide had Kaiser not gloved it. Utah leads 2-1 as the forward line of Genev, Connors, and Timofey have been outstanding so far. 3:52 left in the first period. It's Utah 2, Tahoe 1. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in, and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
What fun action here at Maverick Center as there's 3 minutes and 52 seconds left in the first period. Utah leads Tahoe 2-1. Grizzlies with 2 unanswered goals. Danny Genev 135 in, picked up his 17th of the year with Connors and Timofeyev getting the assist. And then 13:22 in, it was Connors getting his 14th of the year and 9th in the month of February. Genev and Timofeyev with the assists. So a multiple-point game for the forward line of Connors, Genev, and Timofeyev. High slot, Maillet with the lefty shot, and it's blocked as Grizzlies will poke it out to center ice. Boy, all 4 forward lines have been productive for the Grizzlies, and I really like the forward line of Gillette, Colella, and Yevdokimov. They've created a couple scoring chances here early on. Grizzlies have the puck on the right side. Algier hit Freese, and that's going to be a penalty. Right corner, righty shot, saved by Whitehead. Boy, it looked like a Grizzly from behind got hit high and hard, and that's going to draw the first penalty of the game. 3:26 is left in the first period, as Tahoe gets 2 minutes for tripping. So going to the box is Lyndon Algier. Grizzlies were outstanding on the power play against Tahoe in that 3-game series we mentioned a few minutes ago in early February. Grizzlies are 16 for 52 on the power play over their last 15 games. Tahoe's penalty kill this season is 77.8%, which ranks 16th in the league. In the 3-game series last week against the Idaho Steelheads, Tahoe's penalty kill was 16 for 18. Lyndon Algier's tripping minor was 16, 34 in. Freese will take the drives out there for Lebster, Tyler Gratton, as well as Hanson Bukata and Danny Genev. That's a party of 5 as Gratton behind Tahoe's net gets to Genev, over to Lebster, fakes a one-timer, over to Genev, back to Lebster, who dangles back and forth, gets to Hanson Bukata, across to Genev, over to Lebster in the left circle. Now back up top to Hanson Bukata. One-timer saved by Whitehead. Rebound goes towards Tahoe. Gustafson ahead to Wall. 2-on-1. Grizzlies have 2 players trailing the play. Siren pass is poked away by Hanson Bukata. Grizzlies have numbers the other way. Lebster over the offensive line down the middle of the ice. He'll veer off to the left corner. Lebster keeps his head up, and he'll slide it around the boards to Genev. Genev accepts the puck, gets it back to Lebster behind Tahoe's net. Lebster drops it back for Genev. He's in the right circle. Up top to Hanson Bukata. Over to Lebster in the left circle. He gets across to Genev. One-timer goes wide. Lebster to Freese. Shot to score! Evan Freese gets his 17th of the year. It's a power play goal as the Grizzlies take a 3-1 lead. Boy, great passing by the Grizzlies. They got it towards Lebster in the left circle, and he centered it to Friesen, and Friesen, he's got that quick release with that lefty shot. It got past Whitehead in a blur. As Genev fired the one-timer, he's going to get his 3rd point of the first period. His one-timer went wide onto Lebster, who centered it to Friesen for the Grizzlies' goal. So the time of Friesen's power play goal is 17:23 in. Friesen with his 17th of the year. Danny Genev with his 3rd point tonight. He now has 1 goal and 2 assists, and Reed Webster gets his 21st assist of the season. So the Grizzlies get their 17th power play goal in their last 16 games, and that's been a key to their success. Tahoe throws it in. Grizzlies have been disciplined here in the first period, not taking penalties, as Tahoe's power play has been outstanding this season as well. Jay out to center ice, drops it for Andrew Noel. Noel trying to fire towards the net. It kicks off a Kalen Taylor's skate. And now we get some real pushing and shoving behind Tahoe's net as Kalen Taylor and Andrew Noel are really living it up behind Cameron Whitehead's net. As there's 2:04 left in the first period, it's possible that offside was called on the Grizzlies, and Noel probably didn't hear the whistle and fired one towards Whitehead. Well, we've seen Andrew Noel kind of shake things up a little bit after the whistle in the Allen series, and Noel seems to be that spirited type that fans love to see. Not sure if any penalties are going to be called after the whistle, if it was just good old-fashioned hockey. Now Noel's going to skate towards the penalty box. But it doesn't look like he's going in. He's going to veer back towards the Grizzlies bench. So we're going to skate. Well, Noel's just kind of hanging out near the penalty box, but he's not going to serve. He's just going to stay out there on the ice with Boilar. So 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the first period. We'll skate 5-on-5, neutral zone draw. As John Gillette will take the face-off. He's out there with Yevdokimov and Kallela. This forward line's actually produced some good scoring chances for the Grizzlies in their shifts here in the first frame. Utah leads 3-0, 3 goals on 10 shots. There's 2 minutes left in the first period. Puck is whipped around the boards. Kaiser lets it go towards the far wing. And Tahoe reverses along the boards as McGrew and Yevdokimov battle as the Grizzly throws Tahoe towards right corner boards. Well, Utah's got an extra bounce to their step here tonight. Matt Van Unen towards the high slot, fires it off at Kallela. 1:35 left in the first period. 3-1 Utah. As Boiler off the boards, and Tahoe tries to play soccer. Yevdokimov gets the puck, skates towards the right circle, now to the middle of the ice. He drops it off as he gets taken down. Then Yevdokimov tripped up Kallela. I don't think you can get a penalty for tripping up your own guy, but the puck goes out to center ice. Racing out towards center, O'Leary shields Connors from the puck. Dylan Gratton takes a spill as Night Monsters will filter some players on and off. As Connors battles with the puck as it slides back to center ice. Mark Larson, how much time's left in the first period?
1 minute remaining in the first period.
Thank you, Mark. Utah leads 3-1 as they've got first period goals from Riley Connors, Danny Genev, and Evan Freese, not necessarily in that order. Near the Grizzlies bench, puck slides to the middle of the ice, and it rolls like a tire towards the center red line as Maillet fires it in. 40 seconds left in the period. And Salem back at the near goal line, pitches it toward Genev, who's already got 3 points tonight. He had 5 points in a game a couple weeks ago. As Connors across to Timofeyev, drop it for Genev, back to Timofeyev. His one-timer goes wide, didn't get much on it. Genev rolls it out in front, but it's picked off by Lyndon Algier. 22 seconds left in the period. Timofeyev accepts the puck as both teams are switching up skaters. Timofeyev throws it in. I think Tahoe tried to throw it to Timofeyev at center ice, hoping that the Grizzlies, who are in the middle of a change, would get called for too many on the ice. Tahoe throws it in, but icing is going to be called as they were at their side of center ice. As there's 5.5 seconds left in the first period. And what can you say after Tahoe scored 1:09 in? The Grizzlies responded with a goal 26 seconds later, and now they've responded with 2 more. Boy, the Grizzlies have put together really a fun brand of hockey here in the month of February. You mentioned the Grizzlies have been averaging 4.5 goals per game in the month. And the Grizzlies, for whatever reason, have had a lot of success scoring against this Tahoe club. Freese will take the drives out there with Tyler Gratton and Reed Webster. A little bit of an adjustment to Tyler Gratton's black sweater, as it now has T. Gratton. Obviously, with his brother Dylan Gratton, Dylan Gratton's got D. Gratton on the back of his jersey as puck rolls along the boards. And that will do it for 20 minutes here at Maverick Center. And if you're a Grizzlies fan, it's got to be 20 glorious minutes as Utah scored 3 first-period goals. Tahoe found the back of the net, 1:09 in as Gustafson ricocheted the puck off Kaiser, got the rebound, and then Gustafson fired it past the goal line. He's the reigning league player of the week, and Gustafson picked up his 7th goal of the year. 26 seconds later, 1:35 in, it was Danny Genev getting his 17th of the season. Connors and Timofeyev with the assists. And then that 3-man forward unit scored again, 13:24 in. It was Connors getting the goal with Genev getting the main assist, and Stepan Timofeyev picking up his second helper of the night and 16th of the year. Grizzlies got a power play after Tahoe's Lyndon Algier got called for a tripping minor 16:34 in. And about halfway through the power play, Genev misconnected on a one-timer as the puck went from the right wing to the left. And Lepser got the puck, found Friesen all alone down the middle of the ice. Lepser to Friesen to the back of the net as Evan Friesen picked up his 17th of the year. Genev and Friesen each picked up their 17th goals of the season in the first period. And it's already a 3-point night for Danny Genev. 1 goal and 2 assists. He now has 14 multiple-point games this season. And Genev currently has 17 goals and a team-leading 31 assists on the season. We'll come back and recap the first 20 minutes and also go over some other scores from around the world of sports, as well as the NHL game played about 8 miles away between the Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, and the Utah Mammoth. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
After one period here at Maverick Center, it's Utah Grizzlies 3 and the Tahoe Night Monsters 1 as Utah scored 3 unanswered. Night Monsters got the first goal of the game, 1:09 in, as Jordan Gustafson fired away from the slot, ricocheted off Kaiser. Gustafson got the rebound. It looked like the second attempt got a little bit of a piece of Kaiser's glove, but then trickled past Kaiser's glove and past the goal line. And there's the goal for watching on Flow Sports, and that made it a 1-0 game. As Kaiser made the first stop, just kind of lunging towards his left. And then Gustafson got it back, and Kaiser got a piece of the second shot, but it went past the goal line. And so the Night Monsters, who are a high-powered offense, took a 1-0 lead, 1:09 in. 26 seconds later, it was the Grizzlies responding as Stepan Timofeyev raced towards the right side, cut it across towards Genev. Genev fired it past the goal line on a bit of a low liner as he got his 17th of the year. And with that, the score was tied at 1, 1:35 in. Stayed a 1-1 game for quite a while. Then the Grizzlies took a 2-1 lead as Connors fired away from the left side. But the Grizzlies put together some pretty good moments in that forward line of Gillette. You have Dokimov and Mikey Colella. Each had a few good scoring chances in that first period. Here's the second goal if you're watching on Flow Sports. Genev across to Connors, his one-timer. Went past Whitehead as Whitehead was trying to slide towards his right, and Connors just found a little bit of a hole between the arm of Whitehead and the middle of his body. As Riley Connors has been outstanding in the month of February. He has 9 goals in 10 games in February, and he's been outstanding. Then the power play goal scored by Evan Friesen, as he's got that quick shot. Friesen probably has the quickest shot of anybody on the club. As Danny Genev had the puck on the right side, kind of mishit one as it went behind Utah's net. Lepser got the puck and centered it to Friesen to make it a 3-1 game, and that's where we sit after one period. In terms of shots, Grizzlies had 10 in the first period. Tahoe had 7. Connors and Genev each had 2 shots in the period, and then 6 other Grizzlies skaters had 1 shot each, including Connors, who found the back of the net. The forward line of Timofeyev, Connors, and Genev were outstanding in the first period. What can you say? They could end up being the 3 stars of the game, just those 3 guys. Genev 1 goal and 2 assists in the first period. He was a +2 and had 2 shots. Riley Connors had 1 goal, 1 assist. He was a +2 and had 2 shots. And Stepan Timofeyev, he had 2 assists and was a +2 in the first period. Kyle Kaiser stopped 6 of 7 in the first period. Tahoe's Cameron Whitehead saved 7 of 10. So we're having some fun here at Maverick Center on a Wednesday night. Grizzlies are 1 for 1 on the power play. Tahoe has yet to go on the man advantage, and the Grizzlies have been a pretty disciplined team. They haven't taken a ton of penalties this season, and that's certainly going to be critical in this series. Certainly going to be a big key because Tahoe has the second best power play unit in the league. So first period stats, if you're watching on Flow Sports, we'll give them to you verbally on YouTube, the audio portion of Grizzlies hockey. Scoring chances, the Grizzlies had 6 and Tahoe had 3 in the first period. So 6 of Utah's 10 shots were considered to be scoring chances. 3 of Tahoe's 7 shots were scoring chances. Night Monsters won the face-off battle, 11-6 in the first period. Utah had 2 power play shots. Obviously, Friesen scored the goal on Utah's second power play shot. I think Danny Genev had the other. Utah had 5 hits, and Tahoe had 3 in the first period. And in terms of giveaways, Night Monsters had 6 and Utah had 4 in the first 20 minutes of play. It's a busy night of games in the league. A few of them have gone final. Adirondack defeats Reading 5-4 in overtime as the game winner was scored 4:06 into the extra session. Former Grizzly Nathan Burke had 1 goal for Reading in the loss. Greensboro got a 3-2 victory over Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals. Doyle, Smith, and Weiss each found the back of the net for Greensboro, and the law firm of Yoder and Crane scored for Norfolk. Fort Wayne got a big 6-3 victory over the Wheeling Nailers. No former Grizzlies in terms of goals in that one. Late third period, Cincinnati's got a 4-0 lead over Toledo. So it could be a rare loss for the Toledo Walleye, who are currently 28-12, 4-4 on the year. Got to watch out a little bit for how Cincinnati's playing over the next couple of weeks. They will be the Grizzlies' opponent on the road in Cincinnati on March 7th and 8th. After 2 periods, Iowa leads Bloomington 3-2. Utah does have 1 game coming up against Bloomington on March 6th. That will be a road game over in Bloomington. The Bison have a record of 25-21, 2-2 on the season. After 2 periods, Kansas City leads Allen 3-1 as the Mavericks have goals from Jackson Judding, Casey Crew, and Landon McCallum. Allen's got a goal from defenseman Ty Prefontaine. After 1 period over Idaho Central Arena, former Grizzly Mitch Wall found the back of the net, 15-26 in for the Steelheads. Idaho leads 1-0. Steelheads have outshot the Thunder 13-7. It's interesting, Kansas City, they've got the 2-goal lead after 2 periods against Allen. It's a home game for the Mavericks. Kansas City has won 15 straight home games, dating all the way back. Their last home loss was on December 19th of 2025. You know the opponent was that night for Kansas City? It was Utah Grizzlies, as Utah had an outstanding 60-minute effort against Kansas City on December 19th, winning 7-4, and the Mavericks have not lost a home game since. So Kansas City's looking for their 16th home victory. The league record for consecutive home wins is 19, set by the Newfoundland Growlers from November 8th, 2019 through February 14th, 2020. The South Carolina Stingrays won 18 straight home games from December of 1994 until the middle of March in 1995. Wheeling had 17 home wins in a row in the 94-95 season. The Idaho Steelheads had 16 straight home wins from January 14th to March 29th of 2023. In Kansas City with a home victory tonight, they currently lead by 2 goals after 2 periods. They will be tied for 4th in terms of largest home winning streaks in league history. When we come back, we'll check on the NHL scores, including the big game between the Colorado Avalanche and the Utah Mammoth. After one period, the Grizzlies have been rolling offensively as they have 3 goals on 10 shots. It's Utah 3 and Tahoe 1. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
First intermission here at Maverick Center, and Utah leads Tahoe 3-1. After one period over at Delta Center, no score between the Avalanche and Mammoth. Both teams had 8 first-period shots. It's the 4th meeting this season between the clubs, as Colorado is 2-1 against Utah this season. There was only 1 penalty, as Damon Taves picked up a 2-minute minor for tripping against Clayton Keller. That was 18:54 into the first period. So the Mammoth will have the power play for 54 seconds to start the second period. So no score between Colorado and Utah. First game for Clayton Keller after winning Olympic gold for Team USA. And obviously for Colorado, they had plenty of players over in the Olympics as well. Ole Mata was part of the bronze medal winning club, and he's out there for Utah tonight. Halfway through the third period, Lightning lead the Maple Leafs 3-0. How about Charles-Edouard Dastu, our good friend, has 2 assists for the Lightning, as he picked up an assist in each of Tampa's first 2 goals. Nikita Kucherov has found the back of the net for Tampa, as well as Goncalves and Braden Point. And so halfway through the third period, Tampa leads Toronto 3-0. After 2 periods, Dallas leads Seattle 4-0. As Wyatt Johnston has scored twice for Dallas, goals 30 and 31 on the season. A few games have gone final. Sabres defeat the Devils 2-1, as Tage Thompson, an Olympic gold medalist, and Peyton Krebs each had the goals for Buffalo, and Timo Meier scored for New Jersey. Jack Hughes, U.S. Olympic hero, he picked up an assist on New Jersey's lone goal, which was 17:30 into the third period. Sabres over the Devils 2-1. Capitals get a 3-1 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers, as Washington outshot Philadelphia 29-24. Getting underway in a few minutes, the Jets are at the Canucks. Golden Knights, the NHL affiliate of the Tahoe Night Monsters, they're at LA to take on the Kings. And at 8:30, Edmonton is at Anaheim. That's certainly a big game in the Western Conference, as Edmonton is 28-22-8 on the season. And the Ducks come in with a record of 30-23-3. So that's the NHL scores here on this Wednesday night. And remember, here at Maverick Center, this is just the opener of a 3-game series. Both teams will be off tomorrow. And then Friday night's going to be the next Grizzlies game. And that will start off Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. And obviously that's going to be a 2-night spectacle on both Friday and Saturday night. Face-off will be at 7 o'clock both evenings, as the Tahoe Night Monsters are here in town for the first and only time this season. And we're unofficially calling this the Jackson Hibbard reunion, because that's pretty much what it is. Jackson Hibbard, the former head equipment manager for the Grizzlies over the last 2 years, and before that was an assistant equipment manager for a few seasons. He is going to be on the Tahoe bench, and unfortunately, in the 6 road games the Grizzlies had against Tahoe this year, they did not show Jackson a single time. So we'll see if in the second period we can get a little bit of a look on Flow Sports of Jackson Hibbard, the first-year Tahoe head equipment manager. We'll come back and have second period action on the other side as the Grizzlies lead Tahoe 3-1. We'll be back in a couple minutes for second period action as the Grizzlies have 1 goal and 2 assists from Danny Genev. Riley Connors has 1 goal and 1 assist, and Stepan Timofeyev has 2 assists. Grizzlies were 1 for 1 on the power play, and they've outshot Tahoe 10-7. We'll come back and have second period action on the other side. You've been tuned into the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Both teams are on the ice. We're about set for second period action. On the video board, they're showing some highlights of the first period and why the Grizzlies got it rolling offensively. Webster to Freese into the back of the net on Utah's lone power play. And that quick-looking, sweeping shot by Freese. And he gets the shot off about as quick as anybody, not only on the Grizzlies, but anybody in the league. And that's going to be tough on goaltenders because that gets on goaltenders in a hurry. And on that occasion, it got past Cameron Whitehead, the Tahoe goaltender. Whitehead's a pretty strong goaltender for Tahoe. He's got a .927 save percentage this season, but the Grizzlies were able to get 3 goals on him in the first period. Utah will start the second period with a forward line of Neil Shea, Luke Manning, and Maxime Barbashev, and a defensive pairing of Aiden Hanson-Bukata and Colby Enns. Tahoe's going to start the second period with Michael Leary out there with Connor Merritt and Jake McGrew, and a defensive pairing of Artur Cholach and Kalen Taylor. Grizzlies will skate from left to right as we see it from high atop section 114. Tahoe wearing a white jersey with teal numbers and a little bit of black mixed in. They'll skate from right to left. Night Monsters win the draw. Puck ricochets off the boards and is floated by Neil Shea from center ice. Puck hippity-hops on the ice towards the Tahoe backboards. Barbashev trying to get up top towards Enns and does so successfully. Enns righty shot kick saved by Whitehead off his left pad. As Barbashev gets to the middle of the ice for Hanson-Bukata. Back to Barbashev in the high slot. He fires lefty shot and it's blocked. Maya ricocheted off Manning, Barbashev's teammate. As Manning skates towards the left corner, Manning and Shea each have A's on the back of their black sweaters with white numbers and professional green trim. Shea and Manning get engulfed along the boards behind Whitehead's net. As Whitehead looks over his right shoulder, Tahoe comes out with the puck, but they overlead a pass. Ends right point. His shot gets redirected by Shea and goes over Tahoe's crossbar. Shea up top to Enns, right point, across to Hanson-Bukata. He'll get to the middle of the ice off of Barbashev's stick. Extended first shift here for the Grizzlies forwards as it's lasted about a minute. Manning off his stick as Manning and Shea will come off the ice. Tahoe will sky it into Utah ice. Kaiser will fire it off the near wing boards. Now let it to center ice for Webster, who gets it head to Freese, who's already got a goal tonight. Freese and Genev are tied for second in the club with 17 goals each. They each had a first period tally. Tyler Gratton over in the right point to Friesen, who throws to the right corner. Webster gets there about the same time as Lyndon Algier. Now Tyler Gratton joins the play. T. Gratton, his brother Dylan Gratton making his professional debut on this his 23rd birthday. Gustafson will fire it off the far wing boards to Wall. Wall over the offensive line. He gets taken off the puck by Luke Salem as Luke Adam and make that Sloan Stanek will slide it back to center ice. First penalty of the Grizzlies is going to be called as it's touched up by Dylan Gratton. And the Night Monsters are going to go on the power play for the first time tonight. Interference is the call. And Grizzlies captain Tyler Gratton can't believe it, but he's going to the box. That'll be Tyler Gratton's 36th and 37th penalty minute of the season. As the two Gratton brothers were teammates for one season at Penn State from 2020 through 2023. As Tyler Gratton sits in the box for 2 minutes. Tahoe's power play has been outstanding lately. The Night Monsters are 6 for 18 on the power play over the last 3 games, and they're currently second in the league on the power play at 24.4%. Luke Adam will take the draw for Tahoe. And for the Grizzlies, it's going to be Riley Connors. Utah wins the faceoff. Salem whips it around the boards. Well, the Grizzlies have an extra bounce to their step here tonight as they're looking for their 5th home victory of the season. Artur Cholaj gets it for Tahoe as he'll drop it off. Sloan Stanek accepts it. He's averaging more than a point per game for Tahoe this season. Almost collides with Cholaj down the middle of the ice. Stanek's onside. He skates towards the right point before he surveys and feeds it to the right goal line. Now back to Stanek as he'll chip it behind him, but the puck kind of flubbed off his stick, and John Gillette will clear it out to center ice. Tahoe resets. They're a pretty smart team. They've got a lot of guys with plenty of pro experience. Ahead to Stanek, who tried to curl it and does so successfully to Wall. Wall around Utah's net towards the near side. Over to Adam, the former NHLer. He whips it around the boards. Salem chasing after it in the right point, but it's taken by Stanek, who has a glance off his stick. Gillette will fire it off to Stanek. Puck is taken by Jake McGrew. Now a good poke check by Riley Connors to deflect the puck out to center ice. As Tahoe's Jake McGrew skates back in, he'll skate towards the right corner, curls it out to the middle of the ice, and it's picked off. Neil Shea with a foot race. He gets there, and he stops over on the right wing boards. As he'll throw it back towards Hanson Bukata. Boy, the Grizzlies at one point had about 7 guys on the ice as they were making a line change. Tahoe comes back over. Swick tried to get the puck, but it was overled for him from Mike O'Leary as the Night Monsters switch up skaters. 30 seconds left in the power play. Utah still leads 3-1. Night Monsters back towards the right goal line as Tahoe's on the power play over to Leary. Gets to Poliani as Kaiser dives his right pad out as Poliani couldn't accept the puck. And the Grizzlies floated out to center ice. Arm is raised by linesman Craig Peterson. And there's going to be a neutral zone face-off with 16:29 left in the second and 15 seconds left in Tahoe's first power play of the game. Boy, great stop by Kyle Kaiser. It was about as flexible as any goaltender I've seen in quite some time. Just extended his right pad out, and Poliani just didn't have much of a shooting angle. Devin Poliani. Oddly enough, the pronunciation guide earlier in the season said it was Poliani, and then they changed it. The Tahoe game notes. Now it's Poliani. Either way, he's outstanding this season with 23 goals on the year. Grizzlies win the draw, and Poilar will rainbow it deep into the Tahoe zone. And longtime listener Shirley is making sure that I don't use a Shorzy reference when the puck is flying in the air. I've seen Shorzy Shirley. It was a coincidence, an accident, if you will. Puck towards the far right corner. Tahoe gets up top. As we're back to 5-on-5 skating. Van Noonen gets the block by Gratton. Now high slot righty shot. That one's blocked as well. As Friesen will tap it off the boards. Puck near the Tahoe bench. Gratton delivers a good shoulder check on C.J. Valerian. Action near the Tahoe bench. Night Monsters on 2 knees. Now O'Leary gets back to his feet. He gets rammed into by Tyler Gratton. As O'Leary throws it in at the end of his shift. Grizzlies back to neutralize for Reed Lepster. He'll skate back into Utah ice. No backhanded to Boilar. We try to get to Gratton. It's sticked away by Night Monster Dawson McKinney. He's making his 3rd appearance in this league this season. McKinney, a recent Tahoe addition. Night Monsters Artur Cholaj crosses center ice. And he'll fire it around the boards. Hanson Bukata lets it go. Genev will shuffle it forward as the puck got some air under it. Reed Lepster chasing after it. But the Night Monsters get it back. Cholaj ahead towards Olsen off his stick. It's taken by McKinney, who fires it in. Kaiser reverses the puck along the near wing boards to Colby Enns. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Connors over to Genev to the middle of the ice. as Genev skates towards left wing, trying to center it to Connors. Pass a little bit behind him as it ricochets off either Connors' stick or skate. Night Monsters get it back as Tahoe dumps it in. Grizzlies have a highly productive forward line out there with Genev, Connors, and Timofeyev. As now Connors will come off the ice. He's replaced by John Gillette. Gillette, one of 4 Grizzlies players to have appeared in every game this season. Gillette falls down trying to accept the puck and neutralize from Genev. As the Night Monsters back into their own zone. Game 52 of the regular season for both clubs. Turnover. Mikey Colella, right side. There's Gillette. Shot save. As everybody hacking away. Whitehead dives. The puck across the goal line. And the referee waves it off. No goal, says the referee. No goal. It's still a 3-1 game. Referee put both arms in the air. And the Grizzlies are battling for it. Gillette, Colella out in front of the net. The whistle blew. I don't know if it was a premature whistle, because everybody was kind of hacking away in the crease. Whitehead dove towards his left, and then the puck crossed the goal line. This might be a non-reviewable play, as the 2 referees, instead of just looking at it, as they're just kind of hacking away. Maybe goaltender interference. Yevdokimov got a bit of a piece of Whitehead, as then the puck trickled past the goal line. Looked like it was Yevdokimov who ricocheted off of Whitehead's shoulder. And so it could be Yevdokimov's second as a Grizzly. As Gillette was over there in front of the crease, Yevdokimov was towards the near side, at the near goal line, kind of hacking away. Yeah, but was there a whistle? Was there goaltender interference? There's multiple things that could have waved it off. It looks like Luke Adam. Doesn't look like Adam's thrilled, but I'm not sure Gratton's thrilled either. It looks like they're going to go to video replay. As if there was no whistle and there was no goaltender interference, you might count the goal. Obviously, the puck crossed the goal line. The call on the ice is no goal, so they're going to need some sort of evidence to say that it was a goal. Right now, there's 14 minutes and 21 seconds left in the second period. It's 3-1 Grizzlies with a bit of a question mark, as it could be 4-1 Utah. Well, the Grizzlies, they haven't had a high volume of shots, but they've certainly capitalized here. The Grizzlies, quite frankly, are looking like they do a lot of times in the road. And obviously, the Grizzlies are 15-12-3 on the road this season. They've been playing with a ton of confidence. Colella centered it to Gillette. As Yevdokimov hacking away, Whitehead was diving towards his left. Yevdokimov, was there contact there? Hard to really say. It probably depends on who you're rooting for. And Yevdokimov just kind of pushed the puck into the back of the net. I'm not sure if there was goaltender interference or there was enough there to call goaltender interference. Puck wasn't kicked in. It looked like it was brushed in by the stick of Yevdokimov. So it is possible this could count as a good goal. I kind of mentioned the Grizzlies' road record of 15-12-3, and a big part of that's the Grizzlies playing with the lead, and obviously they gave up the first goal, but then scored 3 unanswered. Making quick decisions with the puck and offensively, they're playing with about as much confidence as I've seen all season. So they're taking a good long look at this. Really, I think a big question is is when was the play dead? So the referee looked like he immediately said no goal. Looked like he had seen the puck cross the goal line. I don't know if he thought that maybe it was kicked in. Obviously, there's about 4 or 5 bodies in front of the crease and in the crease. Whether it was if you're talking about goaltender interference, was there really enough contact there with Yevdokimov and the goaltender? There's like a slight bit of contact, maybe 4 or 5 seconds before the puck crossed the goal line. So I wonder if they're going to call this a good goal. 2 referees tonight. Now we'll get the verdict. And it's a no goal. Ryan Anderson puts both palms in the air like it's Don Cherry after the first intermission in the montage for Coach's Corner. And now one of the referees, that's Jamie Pavia, number 26, giving the explanation to John Buchanan. And Buchanan just kind of shakes his head, so there must have been a pretty good explanation as to why the goal was disallowed. Maybe we'll get some word as to why it was disallowed later on. As, maybe there's a premature whistle. It's hard to really say. Is there a kicking motion? And we'll find out maybe a little bit later. Maybe it kicked off a Gillette's skate. Maybe that's what they're saying. The faceoff's going to be at neutral ice. It's a 3-1 game. In that Allen series, remember, Allen had a goal disallowed. I think it was early on Saturday, and the reason was Allen was offside. We found that out after the game on the Allen press release post-game, as Tahoe has it behind Utah's net. As the Grizzlies skate from left to right, there's a Tahoe player that crashes along the near post near Kaiser. As Tahoe over in the right circle, as Connor Merritt, he gets hit by Boilard as the puck slides from one corner to the other. Andrew Noel collides with Jake McGrew as Manning gives some lumber towards Mike O'Leary. 13:47 on the moving clock here, second period. Boilard comes out of the pile with the puck. He skates around Utah's net. Boilard is gaining confidence with every game. He'll step over the offensive blue and drop it for Shea. Shea whips it around the boards to Barbashev, the second-year pro, former Rangers draft pick. As Barbashev tried to get to Manning, and it's taken away by Artur Cholach. Now Barbashev kicks to Manning, who skates along the right wing. Stops, now gets it back as Manning gets tripped up by Cholach. That's going to be a penalty on Tahoe. Delayed penalty as Kaiser skates off. Salem, high slot, righty shot, lefty shot, he scores! Delayed penalty goal as Luke Salem fired a blast from the high slot. And it's now a 4-1 game. Barbashev believes he redirected it. It's either Barbashev or Salem that gets the goal. Kaiser, maybe it skated to the bench for about a second, maybe two, before Salem fired away from the high slot. So a delayed penalty gives Utah a 4-1 lead. As Salem, hard to really tell if Barbashev got a piece of it or not. Barbashev believes he did. And if Barbashev got a piece of it, it was just kind of a quick glance. It's 4-1 Utah. 3 goals in the first, 1 in the second, 4 unanswered for Utah, as they've been outstanding here offensively. And really over the last 3.5 games, they've gotten the job done. 3.5 game stretch against Tahoe, they've scored 23 goals. Algier crosses center ice. We'll get the goal announcement from Mark Larson. Is it Barbashev or is it Salem?
Scoring his second goal of the season, number 92, Maximum Barbashev.
So it's Barbashev with the goal. It's actually his 4th goal of the season. Grizzlies chip it to Webster. Utah leads 4-1. Webster in the right point as he dances around, drops it for Friesen. As now they get it back towards center ice. So Barbashev with the goal, Salem, and Dylan Gratton with the assist. Left wing, lefty shot by Noel goes wide, and that's certainly notable as Dylan Gratton gets his first pro point. Tahoe skies it towards the Utah blue line as they make a full line change. Gratton strides down the middle of the ice, steps over the offensive blue, and he fires lefty shot, and that's sticked away by Maye as the puck goes out of play. Grizzlies had a goal disallowed, but they come back, and Barbashev redirects the Salem shot, 6:45 in. It's Utah 4 and Tahoe 1. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Minutes and 8 seconds left in the second period as Utah leads 4-1. Grizzlies got first period goals from Danny Genev, Riley Connors, and Evan Friesen, and a second period delayed penalty goal by Maxime Barbashev, with Luke Salem and Dylan Gratton getting the assists. Gratton in his professional debut tonight, he played with 3 different colleges. He played at Penn State University for 2 years, including 1 season. where the two Grattan brothers were teammates. That was a 2022-23 campaign. And then Dylan Grattan last year played at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, and had 2 goals and 12 assists in 35 games. This year had 1 assist in 22 games at the University of Vermont. So he matches his college season total in points here in 2 periods as a professional. Dylan Grattan wearing number 25. It looks like he's going to be a keeper. He makes quick decisions with the puck. Looks like he's got a decent amount of speed. He handles the puck well, makes good decisions. Grizzlies over the offensive line is Noel. He'll fire a lefty shot, saved by Whitehead. As Night Monsters come back ahead, they'll plop it out to neutral ice. It's gloved and dropped by Genev, and he'll throw it towards the far wing boards. Grizzlies in the middle of a line change. Boy, they might have gotten away for the second time in this second period with too many on the ice. Maia ahead to the Utah line. Left wing for Derflinger off his stick. It goes deep into the Grizzlies zone. Ends off his stick to the right corner. Now the puck goes to Yevdokimov, who will brush it to neutral ice. And Tahoe will plump it back in. It's taken by Boiler in the right corner. Tahoe will switch up skaters, and so will the Grizzlies. About 11 minutes left in the second period. It's 4-1 Utah, as the Grizzlies will get towards the near wing for John Gillette. Ahead to Mikey Colello, who will pitch it in. Puck around the boards, Whitehead. He gets cut off by Yevdokimov. As Colello, he's played a strong game tonight. Now up top to Ends, right point. He'll take a shot against redirected and ricochets off the left side of Whitehead. Now Gillette shot to score! John Gillette gets his 10th of the year. It's 5-1 Utah. Boy, the puck just kind of pinballed every which way. Whitehead made a great save with his left pad. Puck trickled towards the middle of the ice as Whitehead really wasn't in a good spot to make a save. And Gillette pretty much fired it into an open net. And how about this forward line? Colello, Yevdokimov, and Gillette have each been outstanding. And Whitehead, well, he kind of didn't have his balance. Then he dove towards his left to try to make the stop. But John Gillette joins the double-digit goal-scoring club as Gillette gets his 10th of the year. It's 5-1 Utah as they've scored 5 goals on 16 shots. As action behind Utah's net, as Gillette gets a goal, Yevdokimov and Colella each with an assist. Now sending pass, righty shot, saved by Kaiser. Grizzlies flipping out of play. It's going to be a penalty as a fan over about row 4 of section 113 comes away with a frozen vulcanized rubber disc, and that's a person wearing a Clayton Keller jersey. Barbashev gave a fan a souvenir from his own zone, and that will mean a delay of game minor as Tahoe will go on the power play for the second time tonight. As Barbashev, he was hanging out in the middle of the ice. He just tried to clear it out, but got too much air under it. As that puck is being kind of handed around row 5 or 6. Everybody in that row appears to be getting a glance at the puck. What a performance by the Grizzlies here in the opener of this 3-game series. Utah's looking for their first victory at home on a Wednesday this year. Boy, Grizzlies, just about every forward line's contributed, including Yevdokimov, Colella, and John Gillette, as they combine for Utah's 5th goal tonight. John Gillette will roll the puck along the far wing boards. John Gillette, along with Reed Lepster, Danny Genev, and Evan Friesen. Those are the 4 forwards that have appeared in every game for the Grizzlies this year. Tahoe crosses center ice, step over the offensive line. Over in the left point, Poliani dumps it in as O'Leary tried to play the puck. It's poked away towards the corner as Connors battles. Now it's taken by Poliani. They'll throw it to the right wing now up top. Maie back to the right circle as Tahoe surveys. I think that's Sloan Stanek. He'll slide it towards the right goal line. Now back to Stanek. Over towards Trent Zwick. Zwick down the middle of the ice. Stick a lefty shot. Saved by Kaiser. And Gillette. He'll fire the puck as he saucers it all the way towards Cameron Whitehead. Good shift by John Gillette and Riley Connors, as well as Luke Salem and Colby Enns. They each come off the ice. 54 seconds left in the power play for Tahoe. It's 5-1 Utah. Night Monsters skate around Aiden Hansbukata and Andrew Noel. Now high slot. Shot by Cholach. That's blocked in front of Kaiser. Cholach is in the left point, gets to the middle of the ice. Kevin Wall had a big series in early February against the Grizzlies. He'll get to the right wing as McGrew, righty shot, saved by Kaiser. Now it's taken back by Wall. He's in the right corner. As Wall, he's in the right circle. Now he skates back towards the corner. Now he pivots and gets it towards Cholach. Over to Stanek in the left wing. He slides one out in front, and it's cut off as Luke Adam couldn't get a shot off at the far goal line. Now Stanek, he danced around in the corner as there's less than 10 seconds left in Tahoe's power play. Cholach gets it across, and if the Grizzlies want to have success in this series, they're going to have to do a job on the penalty kill, and they've done so far. 2 for 2 on the PK as the Night Monsters, right goal line. Righty shot, that's blocked. As the Grizzlies have been outstanding on both ends of the ice, both offensively and defensively. Grizzlies have it in their own zone. They'll right wing it out to Barbashev, fresh out of the box. Off his stick, Tahoe throws it back to the Utah line. As Hanson be caught over to Noel, head off of Barbashev's stick, as the Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Less than 8 minutes left in the second period. It's 5-1 Utah. As the Grizzlies have been outstanding here on the Maverick Center ice. 24 goals in the last 3.5 games against Tahoe. All of those games have come in the month of February. Derflinger throws it into the near corner. Now Derflinger trying to pitch it ahead towards Dawson McKinney. Big-time collision over in the near corner. As McKinney dancing around, he pivots. He'll fire righty shot. Barbashev delivers a big-time hit on McKinney. As McKinney was following through on the shot, Barbashev lit him up. McKinney saucered up top. Algier collects it off the Manning stick. Now the puck goes back in deep, left goal line. Righty shot, and that's flubbed towards Kaiser. And after the whistle, Luke Salem and Jake Derflinger tie each other up. And out in front of Kaiser's net, it looks like an episode of the Jerry Springer Show's breaking out as Barbashev and CJ Valerian. And I think Tahoe's looking for something to find a way to get momentum back into this game. As Grizzlies doing a good job protecting Kaiser. As Derflinger got after it with Salem. We saw Derflinger get a little bit active and emotional early February at Maverick Center, or at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Now Derflinger looks like he's going to go to the penalty box. And now it looks like CJ Valerian and the Grizzly. As Valerian just kind of has the Grizzly. Now it looks like Valerian wants to go after Barbashev. So Derflinger, sporting a mustache, goes to the penalty box. So going to be a Grizzly going in as well. 7:15 left in the second period. It's 5-1 Utah. Looks like Tyler Gratton's arguing the case with a linesman, but it does look like it's going to be a Utah power play. Well, if you joined us late, you certainly have missed quite a bit. Now it looks like Derflinger is going to get his helmet from McKinney. If you joined us late, Tahoe scored the first goal of the game, 1:09 in. Gustafson scored his 7th of the year. He's the reigning league player of the week. Then the Grizzlies responded with 5 unanswered. As Barbashev got after it with Derflinger, and so did Salem. And then Valerian tied up Barbashev around his neck. A lot of fun action here at Maverick Center. Genevieve, Connors, and Friesen each scored first period goals. John Gillette found the back of the net. 6:37 into the second period. Let's see. It looks like the box scores kind of messed things up a little bit. 6:45 into the second period. It was Barbashev scoring, redirecting a Salem shot, and then John Gillette made it a 5-1 game as he scored 9:16 in. So it's going to be a 2-minute power play for the Grizzlies, as I believe Jake Derflinger got a roughing minor. Tahoe clears it out. Grizzlies have contributed on the power play so far. They're 1 for 1 in the man advantage. It's Utah's second power play. Jake McGrew gets the puck, skates down the middle of the ice, and he tries to slide one near Kaiser. Couldn't get a shooting angle off, as Kaiser did a great job extending his right pad out. Now Kaiser, I believe, Kaiser stretching him out. Kaiser slams a stick on his ice. I think he's hurt. As Grizzlies get towards center ice, I think Kaiser might have pulled it. Well, I can't really speculate, but it looks like he slammed a stick on the ice, and it looked like he's shaken up as Kaiser's kind of flexing his right leg out a little bit. And it looks like the referees had spotted a potential injury, so they stopped play. But Kyle Kaiser's about as flexible as it comes, as he just kind of kicked his left leg out to try to cut off any sort of shooting angle from McGrew. It was an outstanding flexible move. Kaiser slammed a stick on his ice, as looked like that one kind of hurt him a little bit. And then Kaiser slammed a stick on the ice, and I think the referees thought that he might be hurt. It does look like Kaiser's going to stay in the game. The faceoff's going to be at center ice. Grizzlies were in control of the puck, but they were just kind of entering neutral ice when the whistle blew. So there's 6:50 left in the second period. It's 5-1 Utah. Draws at center ice. Utah's on the power play for the next minute and 35 seconds. As drawn one by Tahoe. And they'll throw it in as Kaiser kind of stretching out to see if he can still go. Aiden Hansen-Bukata has 30 assists this season, which ranks second in the club. He leads all Grizzly defensemen. He tried to enter the offensive zone and got knifed away by Lyndon Algier. Grizzlies re-enter as Tyler Gratton in the left point. Skates around One Night Monster. Left wing, he'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Whitehead. And he holds on as Gratton had a pretty good look in the left circle. And it was really a crafty move getting around One Night Monster and then finding a good shooting angle along the left dot. So Grizzlies will switch up skaters, and Kyle Kaiser kind of stretching out to make sure he's all right. Well, the Grizzlies have battled so many injuries this season, and Kaiser's played some good hockey. Remember, the backup goaltender tonight is Hunter Miska, who has 6 games of NHL experience. Draw one by Tahoe. As they skate around their own net, they'll fire it off the glass. It's gloved and dropped by Neil Shea to keep it in on the right point. Over to Barbashev, back to Shea. He'll slide it towards Salem, who's in the left wing. Over to Manning, Luke Manning. He gets hit in the back. Gustafson takes the puck, slides it up, but not out. Salem will skate towards the high slot. He'll drop it back to Manning, who's got an A on his sweater. Manning fakes it to Shea, keeps the puck. He'll backhand it up top to Salem, back to Manning. Late in the power play, as Manning tried to get it across the Shea, ricochets off of Tahoe, stick back to Shea. As Shea tried to flub one towards Barbashev. Barbashev knocks down. Oh, it's going to be a trip on Barbashev. He wasn't even really looking at Wall. Wall and Barbashev are along the near wing boards, and Wall tumbled towards the ice. And according to the referee that was standing and neutralized, Barbashev gets called for tripping. So that will do it for the power play. We will skate 4-on-4 for 33 seconds. As Wall had the puck, tried to throw it up, and Barbashev just tripped him up from behind. Good call by the referee. Time of Barbashev's trip is 14-12 into the second period. Grizzlies do have one goal in a 4-on-4 situation this season. There's 5 minutes and 48 seconds left in the second period. Grizzlies are up by 4. Tahoe wins the draw. Trent Swick gets it up top as Taylor will skate towards the corner. Kalen Taylor's a +4 this season. He's a pretty good athlete, dances around. He's being shadowed by Connors. As Taylor drops to the corner, it's taken by Hansen-Bukata, who gets it ahead. As we're skating 4-on-4 for the next 15 seconds. And then Tahoe's Jake Durflinger will come out of the box, and Tahoe will have a power play. Night Monsters deep in their own zone. They probably want to set up shop a little bit slowly. Rink wide feed, angle right, goes tape to tape. As Poliani trying to curl around Colby Enns. Enns took the puck away. Grizzlies will saucer it all the way towards Cameron Whitehead, who gets it off the end boards. Whitehead drops it off as Grizzlies make a full line change, and Tahoe will start a power play. As Sloan Stanek crosses center ice, down the middle of the ice, steps over the offense line, veers to his right and drops for Poliani. Poliani throws to the corner as Salem has a glance up his stick. Tahoe rolls the puck along the boards, but nobody was hanging out in the right point. So the Night Monsters will skate back into their own zone. John Gillette had to tap off his stick. Puck trickled towards the line, but it went back to neutral ice as Evan Friesen tried to play it. Offside of the Grizzlies, as there's 4:41 left in the second period and 53 seconds left in the power play. Or for the Grizzlies' perspective, the penalty kill. We'll go over all the scoring during the second intermission. Boy, a ton of scoring we've got. We're calling this the Jackson Hibbard reunion, 3-game series. Hibbard's hanging out in the Tahoe bench. We'll see if we can get some shots of him on Flow Sports here for the rest of this game. I kind of joked with him that we're going to put some sort of box over in the bottom left on Flow Sports and just show him nonstop. There's Jackson Hibbard on Flow Sports, sporting a beard, former Grizzlies head equipment manager, as the Night Monsters dump it in. And we'll see him throughout the series. We guarantee that. Grizzlies out to neutral ice, and Gratton will fire it in. Grizzlies have had a long lineage of great equipment managers, and DJ McFarland's done an outstanding job, and this is first and unfortunately only year as Grizzlies head equipment manager, as both Jackson Hibbard and DJ McFarland have bright futures. As Stanek gets around the entire Grizzlies defense, he fires lefty shot and he scores. Sloan Stanek does his best Danny Ainge 1981 Sweet 16 impersonation. He just got around the entire Grizzlies defense and fired it past Kaiser. As Stanek, he didn't beat a double team, just kind of got around a triple team, threw the puck behind Noel, skated behind Noel, got the puck back, and fired it past Kaiser. An outstanding individual effort by Sloan Stanek. His goals assisted by Artur Cholach. It's a power play goal, 15:53 in. So both teams have a power play goal tonight, and it's now a 5-2 game. Stanek had spent some time in the American Hockey League this season, and from the Grizzlies' perspective, I think they wish that Stanek still was in the American Hockey League. Left wing O'Leary's lefty shot goes wide. He kind of flubbed it. As Stanek will go over his resume the whole series. He was outstanding against Utah last season. As Salem over the line, make that Manning, accelerates. Now a backhand shot goes wide as he had Maye nearby. Manning with the puck, chips it towards Salem. Salem over to Barbashev. Now back to Salem in the right circle. Toe drag, couldn't get a shot off as it got taken away by Merritt. Now to the middle of the ice, puck ricochets and pinballs off sticks and skates as the Night Monsters ricocheted off the wall, and Merritt will throw it back to Utah ice. Dylan Gratton is the 52nd different player to appear in a game for the Grizzlies this season. He'll fire it off a stick and it flies out of play around row 4 or 5 of section 115, where a fan will come away with a frozen puck. Utah leads 5-2. Sloan Stanek with a great individual effort, getting a power play goal for Tahoe. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
3 minutes and 18 seconds are left in the second period. During the timeout, we said congratulations to the U.S. women's and men's teams for winning Olympic gold. And on both occasions, they won in overtime against Team Canada. Face-offs in the right circle of the Grizzlies zone as everybody's having a good time. Grizzlies with 5 goals on 17 shots. Tahoe with 2 goals on 12 shots. Grizzlies with a 3-goal lead here late in the second period. Draw won by Utah's Riley Connors. He'll plump it out towards center ice. Genev slides to the middle of the ice for Timo Feyev. 3-on-3. Timo over the offense line. Right wing will take a righty shot. Glove saved by Whitehead, who slid towards his left as he makes a stop with 3:07 left in the second. You know, I mentioned Dylan Gratton. He's the 52nd different player to appear in the game for the Grizzlies this season. So you're thinking the Grizzlies might be towards a team record for players used in a single season. Not necessarily the case. The team record, and this is a trivia question, well, maybe give us some time to think about it. What is the most players that have been used in a season by the Grizzlies? Right now, the Grizzlies are at 52. It's not a team record. The question is, what's the number? Most players used by a Grizzlies team in a single season. Obviously, for the Grizzlies, have been around for over 3 decades. Wallard blows the tire along Utah's end boards. We'll give you about 1 minute to think about it, or until the next whistle, as Luke Adams being shadowed by Timo Feyev. Boy, a hard-working shift by Timo. Connors and Boilard join the play. Puck slides in the middle of the ice where it's taken by Andrew Noel. Ed to Genev, trying to get back to Noel in the give and go. Does so successfully. Noel tried to drop it for Timo Feyev, but the pass is wide of the mark. Stanek gets his pocket picked by Genev. And as Timo Feyev gets it towards Noel off the stick. Noel, he centers it out in front. Ricochets in for a score! Noel with a crafty backhand. Looked like more of a pass than a shot. Who's going to get credited for the goal? It looks like it's going to be Noel skating to the celebration aisle first. It looked like players on both the Grizzlies and Night Monsters were going after the puck. And it appears it might be Andrew Noel's first as a Grizzly. So Timo Feyev got it towards Noel. Noel backhanded it. It ricocheted off a Tahoe player and into the back of the net. And it is going to be Andrew Noel getting his first as a Grizzly and third of the season. Stepan Timofeyev gets his third assist of the night, and Danny Genev gets his 4th point as he now has 1 goal and 3 assists. It's 6-2 Utah. Whitehead is still in net. Tahoe gets back-checked by Colella as the puck goes over towards Utah. As the Grizzlies will flip it out to center ice. Taken by Maye. Left wing, center ice. He'll whip it around the boards. As Hanson Bukata cuts it off behind Kaiser's net. So the Grizzlies have 6 goals on 19 shots. As Gillette slides it in deep, he comes off for a change. As Yevdokimov, he fires it out in front, looking for Colella. Colella hacks Valerian once, twice, 3 times. Left wing, lefty shot. Hanson Bukata saved by Whitehead. And after the whistle, the Night Monster, CJ Valerian, goes after Yevdokimov. It looks like Mikey Colella, he wanted to initiate some action as well. So what a fun night for the Grizzlies. 3 goals in the first, now 3 in the second. Andrew Noel scored 17:35 in, with Timofeyev and Genev getting the assists. So faceoffs going to be in the Tahoe zone. Wednesday night crowd, they've been treated to a beauty. We'll go over all the ECHL and NHL scores during the second intermission. These Grizzlies are up to 21 shots. Utah on average is taking 31.9 shots per game. Grizzlies won the faceoff. Webster danced around to drop it for Salem. Right point, he fires lefty shot, saved by Whitehead. Rebound goes towards the right wing boards. Now Webster feeds it up top. Dylan Gratney fires lefty shot, saved by Whitehead. Now it's taken by Webster down the middle of the ice. His righty shot is sticked away and it flies out of play off the protective netting, as there's now 1:28 left in the second period. But Grizzlies continue to get the job done against Tahoe. In the last 11 periods against the Night Monsters, the Grizzlies have scored 25 goals. Utah came into play averaging more than 4 goals per game in February. Utah now has 44 goals in this, the 10th game in February. So Utah averaging about 4.5 goals per game for the month. Yeah, and checked in on Kyle Kaiser for a little bit. Looks like after thinking that he had kind of tweaked a groin or something to that effect, looks like Kaiser stayed in there, but he hasn't seen many shots here tonight. Only 13 from Tahoe. Night Monsters slide it in from center ice as Tahoe gets their stride ahead of Salem. Dylan Gratton holding his ground against Jake McGrew as Webster looking for the puck. Gratton is hanging out in front of Utah's crease as Kaiser looks over his left shoulder. Puck taken by Webster as the puck trickles towards the left corner. Now Webster gets held up by Mike O'Leary as Dylan Gratton in the area. As there's 1 minute left in the second period. Thanks, Mark. As scrum over in the corner continues. Gratton along with Webster. Salem in the area. Now the puck goes up top to Cholach. He'll get it across, one-timer, and that one's blocked. It looked like a ricochet off McGrew. Puck slides in the middle of the ice. The Grizzlies will one-handed ahead. Webster over the offensive line, right side. Chips it across to Gratton, but a good stick check by Kalen Taylor to pick it off as Webster trying to get it to Gratton in the left circle. 30 seconds left in the period. Taylor gains center ice. He's an impressive-looking athlete. He'll fire a lefty shot onto Kaiser. Gloves it about ankle high. And a quick whistle stops play with an even 25 seconds left in the second period. So faceoff's going to be over in the left circle. As Kaiser, he's still kind of trying to figure out if he's 100% or not. I think for Tahoe, they might try to fire low liners to try to see if they can get him to move side to side and really test the agility of Kyle Kaiser. Remember, this is just the opener of a 3-game series. Both teams will be in action on Friday night at 7 o'clock as well as Saturday for Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. High slot. Lefty shot's blocked away by Kaiser. Shot was taken by Samuel Maye, who's got 11 goals this season. Maye gets it teed up. Right wing. Shot. Kick saved by Kaiser. Oh, that one may have smarted a little bit as he had to extend his right. And Kaiser looks up to the heavens. He may not be healthy. 6 seconds left in the second period. As puck deep into the Tahoe zone, Grizzlies get called for icing. As Kaiser continues to stretch out, he looks a little bit upset as he knows that he is not at 100% right now. I think John Buchanan took a quick glance at Hunter Miska and probably told him either to get ready or Miska's been around long enough that he knows that Kaiser at less than 100%. It might be Miska in the third period. Draws over in the left circle. Connors will take it for the Grizzlies, and Luke Adam for the Night Monsters. Face-off won by Utah here in the opener of this critical 3-game series. Noel over in the corner as time runs out here in the second period. And boy, for the Grizzlies, what an outstanding 40 minutes of play. Utah with 3 goals in the first period, 3 more in the second. And what can you say? An outstanding 40 minutes of effort. Kyle Kaiser stopping 13 of 15. Unfortunately, Kaiser may be at a less than 100%. He'll be looked over in the second intermission, and we'll see if it's going to be Kaiser or Hunter Miska in the third period. When we come back, we will recap the first 2 periods. Looks like Andrew Noel getting after it with a Night Monster as the 4 officials. Now it looks like Tahoe's going after Noel. They dropped the gloves, and the linesman stepping in. The period's over. Boy, it looks like Poliani and Noel, they want to go after the 2 linesmen are earning their paycheck trying to separate the 2. I didn't know what Noel said, but Poliani, he looked like he was very upset. There's been a few occasions where it seems like Night Monsters wanted to go after Noel. Andrew Noel with a goal tonight as Poliani walks towards the locker room as we get our second glance on Flow Sports of Jackson Hibbert. As Noel will skate towards the locker room as now both teams will cease and desist and head their separate ways. We'll come back and recap the first 2 periods and also go over some other league scores as well as some NHL scores, including the big battle over at Delta Center between the Avalanche and the Mammoth. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
After 2 periods here at Maverick Center, it's Utah Grizzlies 6 and the Tahoe Night Monsters 2. We're having some fun here on a Wednesday night, opener of a 3-game series. Don't forget to join us for Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend on Friday and Saturday nights, as the Grizzlies will continue their series with Tahoe. How about the Grizzlies? They scored 6 unanswered at one point. Tahoe responded with Sloan Stanek. Actually, it was 5 unanswered, and then Stanek scored. Then it looked like Grizzlies had scored again. Unfortunately, it looks like the ECHL apps kind of messed up with a couple things. Tahoe scored 1:09 into the first period to take a 1-0 lead as Jordan Gustafson got a 7th of the year. He's the reigning league player of the week. Sloan Stanek and Lyndon Algier with the assists. 26 seconds later, it was Danny Genev getting a 17th of the year. Riley Connors and Stepan Timofeyev each picked up the assists. Utah took a 2-1 lead as it was the same forward line contributing to the goal as Genev got the puck in the right point, slid one across to Connors, and Connors' one-timer was fired under the right arm of Whitehead as Riley Connors picked up his 14th of the year, and it's his 9th goal in the month of February. Utah got a power play late in the first period, as Lyndon Algier got a tripping minor 16:34 in. And then Danny Genev took a shot from the right side, fired it around the net. Lepster got in the left wing, centered to Friesen, and with the quick release of Evan Friesen's shot, it got past Whitehead in a hurry, as Friesen picked up his 17th of the year. Lepster and Genev with the assists, and with that, Utah took a 3-1 lead. Grizzlies have 17 power play goals in their last 15 and a half games. Grizzlies led 3-1 after one period. They outshot the Night Monsters 10-7. In the second period, Grizzlies had a 13-8 advantage in the shot count. Utah took a 4-1 lead as Maxime Barbashev redirected a Luke Salem shot, and Dylan Gratton he's making his professional debut, and it's also his 23rd birthday. Gratton picked up his first point with an assist. Time of that goal, 6:45 into the second period. And then Utah extended the lead to 5-1 as John Gillette got his 10th of the year. Yevdokimov and Kulelowig getting the assist. Time of that goal, 9:16 in. And that made it a 5-1 game. Tahoe scored 15:53 in as Sloan Stanek got his 16th of the year with Cholach getting an assist. Utah scored their sixth goal of the night and third of the second period, 17:35 in, as Noel got his third of the year as he ricocheted a backhand shot off a Tahoe skater. Timofeyev picked up his third assist of the night, and Danny Genev with another point as he picked up the secondary assist. Genev has 1 goal and 3 assists on the evening. Second period stats. Grizzlies had 7 scoring chances of their 13 shots. Tahoe with 4 scoring chances on 8 shots. Grizzlies had the 13-8 advantage in the shot count. Face-off battle has been won by Tahoe, 24-14. Grizzlies with 1 power play shot in the second period and 3 in the contest. Tahoe with 4 second period power play shots. Night Monsters also had 1 shorthanded shot. In hits in the second period, Tahoe had 7, Grizzlies had 4. So Utah with 9 hits to Tahoe's 10. And the Grizzlies had 7 giveaways in the second period, and Tahoe had 5. So both teams have 11 giveaways through 2 periods. There were some penalties 20 minutes into the second period, as Andrew Noel got 4 minutes for roughing. He got a 10-minute misconduct. Poliani had a 4-minute roughing and a 10-minute misconduct as well. So those penalties will offset. And with the 4 minutes worth of roughing on each player, not sure if we're going to skate 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 to start the third period. Fans are having a great time, and don't forget, this is just the opener of a 3-game series. Make sure to join us on Friday night for the second of this 3-game set. It's going to be the first of 2 here for Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. Saturday, February 28th will also be a 7 o'clock start. Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend. And it goes over a 2-day stretch on both Friday and Saturday nights. Power play has been interesting this evening. Tahoe's 1 for 3 on the power play, and the Grizzlies are 1 for 2. Remember the Barbashev goal that was scored 6:45 in? That was on a delayed penalty as Kaiser was skating towards the bench. The one downfall of the second period, though, we got to check the availability of Kyle Kaiser. He extended his left pad out, and I think that was a shorthanded shot that was taken by McGrew in the second period. Kaiser extended his left leg out and looked like he came up a little bit shaken, a little bit limping, stayed in the game, but then he had to make a save late in the second period where he had to extend his right pad out and looked like he kind of re-aggravated the injury, so we're not sure if he's going to play in the third period or if it's going to be Hunter Miska closing it out for Utah. But either way, Kyle Kaiser's been solid as he has saved 13 of 15. When you're facing Tahoe, obviously there's 2 things to consider. One, they've got the second best power play unit in the league. Grizzlies have done a pretty decent job staying out of the penalty box. Tahoe's 1 for 3 on the man advantage. And they're also towards the top of the league in goals per game at 3.6 per game this season. So the Grizzlies' goaltending and defensive unit are going to have to do a job all series long. And so far, so good for the Grizzlies and Utah over their last 11 periods against Tahoe. Dating back to the 3-game series in the first week of February, the Grizzlies have scored 25 goals in 11 periods against the Night Monsters. So an interesting story here for the first 2 periods. Dylan Gratton celebrating his birthday. He's got 1 assist. And I got to imagine Danny Genev is going to be the number one star tonight. He already has 1 goal and 3 assists. Riley Connors with 1 goal and 1 assist. And Stepan Timofeyev with 3 assists. Those might just be your 3 stars tonight in any order. Genev, Connors, and Stepan Timofeyev. We'll come back and go over some NHL scores as it's a busy night of pro hockey, as everybody's still kind of buzzing from both the men's and women's Olympics that took place last week, as Team USA won in overtime in both the men's and women's gold medal games against Team Canada. We'll come back and go over NHL scores on the other side. Fans are here having a good time here at Maverick Center, as it's a pretty typical Wednesday night crowd. Should see some good crowds here for Grizzlies Fight Cancer Weekend on both Friday and Saturday nights. We'll come back and go over some scores as Utah leads Tahoe 6-2 after 40 minutes of play. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Welcome back to Maverick Center. We're through 40 minutes of play, and Utah has a 6-2 lead led by Danny Genev, who has 1 goal and 3 assists. Remember, the Avalanche and Mammoth were scoreless after 1 period. Well, action certainly heated up in the second, as after 2 periods, Colorado leads Utah 4-2. As the Avalanche got on the board 3:26 in, as Parker Kelly fired a snapshot, and then Victor Olofsson 9:13 in, made it a 2-0 Colorado lead. Dylan Gunther got the Mammoth on the board with a power play goal 10:49 in. Gunther has 26 goals this season. Sergachev picked up his 30th assist, and gold medalist winner Clayton Keller picked up his 38th assist. Colorado took a 3-1 lead as Brock Nelson, who was also part of Team USA, he scored on a slap shot 12:20 in. Landeskog and Natchez with the assists. Gunther scored his second of the night. 13:20 K-Fan in with Jack McBain, and Logan Cooley gained the assist. Now about that, Cooley in his first game back after missing close to 2 months due to an injury. Natchez scored a power play goal for Colorado 17-17 in, and that made it a 4-2 game, and that's where they sit after 2 periods. Colorado has outshot Utah 22-17. Remember, both teams had 8 shots in the first period. So the big thing there, Dylan Gunther with both of Utah's goals, and Logan Cooley is back in the lineup for the first time in a couple months, and that's certainly going to be huge. Obviously, if the playoffs started today, both Colorado and Utah would be in the postseason. So the Mammoth will be looking for a third period comeback, as Colorado scored 4 second period goals. Kelly and Natchez each have 1 goal and 1 assist, and Kel McCarr has 1 assist tonight, as Scott Wedgwood has saved 15 of 17, and Colorado leads 4-2. Both of Utah's goals scored by Dylan Gunther. Other action in the National Hockey League. After 1 period, Jets and Canucks are tied at 1. Also after 1, Vegas and LA are tied at 1. And through 20 minutes, Oilers lead the Ducks 2-1, as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Jack Roslovic have the Edmonton goals. Finals in the National Hockey League, Sabres defeat the Devils 2-1. U.S. gold medal winner Tage Thompson had 1 of the Buffalo goals. Capitals over the Flyers 3-1. Lightning get a 4-2 victory over the Maple Leafs. Former Grizzly Charles-Edouard Dastu had 2 assists for Tampa in the victory, as he picked up assists 15 and 16 on the year. Tampa cruises to a 4-2 victory over Toronto. Dallas defeats Seattle 4-1, as Wyatt Johnston scored twice. So that's an interesting night of hockey here on this Wednesday in the National Hockey League. Let's go over some ECHL scores this evening, as we're about 5.5 minutes of real time before we start the third period. After 2 periods, Wichita and Idaho are tied at 2. Proctor and Dickman have the Wichita goals. Mitch Wall and Nick Ports have the Idaho tallies. Kansas City wins at home again. It's their 16th straight home win. They defeat Allen 4-3. Marcus Crawford scored but turned out to be the game winner 9-10 into the third period. Iowa over Bloomington 5-3. Cincinnati shuts out Toledo 4-0. Remember, the Grizzlies are going to face Cincinnati for a 2-game set over in the Queen City on March 7th and 8th. Fort Wayne defeats Wheeling 6-3. Greensboro gets a 3-2 victory over Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals. And in overtime, Adirondack defeats Reading 5-4. We'll come back and have third period action on the other side as the Grizzlies have a 6-2 lead over the Tahoe Night Monsters. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
After 2 periods here at Maverick Center, it's the Utah Grizzlies 6 and the Tahoe Night Monsters 2. And it does appear that Kyle Kaiser hurt himself late in the second period, so we believe it's going to be Hunter Miska in net for the third period for the Grizzlies. And Miska is certainly an interesting story. He signed with the Grizzlies last week, beginning his 9th professional season. He hadn't played anywhere earlier this season, but he's starting his 3rd stint as a Grizzly, and obviously made his Grizzly season debut last Saturday, stopping 33 of 35 in a 2-1 overtime loss. Miska was with the Grizzlies for a small portion of the 2019-2020 season. In fact, Miska won the League Goaltender of the Week award during that 2019-2020 season from November 18th through the 24th of 2019. He played in 3 games for Utah and then went back up to the AHL with the Colorado Eagles. Miska has 3 years of experience with the Tucson Roadrunners and experience with the Colorado Eagles for a couple seasons. He's appeared in 6 NHL games. He made his NHL debut with Arizona against Detroit in the third period on November 13th of 2018. And then he played in 5 games with the Avalanche during the 2020-21 season. Miska last year split time with Bridgeport in the American Hockey League and Moscow Dynamo of the KHL. The Night Monsters are on the ice, and the Grizzlies yet to take the ice. I guess there is something with Jacob Musatelli, who's on reserve. It sounds like Musatelli being on reserve, he can't come in and dress. So it is possible that Jacob Musatelli is going to be the backup goaltender for the third period. Musatelli is a former Tahoe Night Monster. As the Grizzlies hit the ice here to start the third period, and it will be Hunter Miska in net, making his 2nd appearance of the season. As on Flow Sports and on the video board, they're showing some highlights of the first 2 periods. As really it was all Grizzlies offensively, as they at one point had scored 5 unanswered. And as Grizzlies it's not necessarily been a high volume of shots. Grizzlies just have 23 shots through 2 periods, which is pretty close to what they would average in the first 2 periods of a game, but 13 of the 23 shots are considered to be scoring chances. So Hunter Miska stretching out in front of the crease. He will be the Grizzlies goaltender for the final 20 minutes of regulation. Hunter Miska, whose father, Todd Miska, designs goaltender helmets. And I think one of the helmets he designed was Eddie the Eagle, the famous helmet worn by Ed Belfour. Andrew Noel goes into the penalty box for the Grizzlies, as well as Tahoe's Devin Poliani, as I think both guys got 4 minutes worth of roughing penalties, as well as a 10-minute misconduct. So faceoff's going to be at center ice, and it looks like we're going to skate 5-on-5 to start the third period. So we're skating 5-on-5. Utah will start out with a forward line of Neil Shea, Luke Manning, and Maxime Barbashev, and a defensive pairing of Colby Enns and Aiden Hansen-Bukata. 20 minutes are put on the scoreboard clock here in the third period, as Manning will take the draw against Mike O'Leary, and Hunter Miska making his home debut for the Grizzlies this season. In his 5 appearances with the Grizzlies over a 2-year stretch, most of them were played here at home. As Tahoe gets the puck and they'll slide it all the way as Miska raises his left arm. Icing, though, is waved off. As Enns behind his net, rolls it to the far side for Shea. Grizzlies skate from right to left in the period. Puck is skipped over the stick of Hansen-Bukata to center ice off the wall as O'Leary whips it around the boards. Miska cuts it off behind his net. He'll drift it towards Enns in the near corner. Hansen-Bukata extended his stick out. As the puck goes back towards Enns, who gets double-teamed. Enns throws it from one corner to the other. As it went between the legs of Lyndon Algier, Grizzlies come back the other way. Shea quick in the transition game, left wing over the offensive line. Throws it to the middle of the ice for Hansen-Bukata, who got a stick lifted by Algier. Tahoe comes back the other way. Rink-wide feed, angle right. Goes towards Maye. Maye skates in, back end shot, saved by Miska. Hunter Miska is about as quick as it comes, 9th-year pro. Tahoe gets it up top, but it goes past Maye. Deep into the Night Monster zone. Grizzlies will get Shea and Hansen-Bukata off the ice. Lepster's out there with Evan Friesen and Tyler Gratton into the defensive pairing of Dylan Gratton and Luke Salem. Dylan Gratton and Tyler Gratton reunite, the two brothers from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. They were each teammates for one season at Penn State back in the 2022-23 campaign. Tahoe back in their own zone as Cholach feeds it near his bench area. Friesen takes it away. Now the puck goes back towards neutral ice. And it appears offsides the call with 18:27 left in the third. So Grizzlies will switch up skaters. Same teams on Friday night. Not sure if either team's going to get a practice in tomorrow. But obviously both teams are in midseason form. Tahoe and Utah are both in game 52 of 72 in the regular season. Connors will take the drives out there with Genev and Timofeyev. All 3 of the forwards are in the plus category tonight, and all 3 of them might be candidates for 3 stars. As Timofeyev, Genev, and Connors reach a +3 tonight. Tahoe has the puck. Kevin Wall moving out to center ice. Gustafson will slide it towards the Grizzlies bench. Now the puck tips out of play. Jacob Musatelli collects the puck. He is acting as the backup right now. He was placed on reserve as the Grizzlies had 2 goaltenders on the roster. So Musatelli essentially was the emergency backup, and with Kyle Kaiser coming up unable to play in the third period. As hard to really speculate what happened to Kaiser. It's actually pretty easy. He kind of extended his legs out a couple times and it looked like maybe a pulled groin or something of that nature. So we certainly hope that Kaiser's not going to be out for long. As unfortunately the injury bug has hit the Grizzlies quite a bit this season. Genev over the offensive line. Left wing. I'll take a lefty shot. Saved by Whitehead. As we believe Whitehead is still in there for Tahoe. And after the whistle, it is Whitehead still in net. As after the whistle, Lyndon Algier gets after it with Timofeyev as Algier keeps tugging on Timofeyev's jersey. That jersey might have been a large. Now it's turned into an extra large. As Timofeyev looking down at his jersey to make sure it's still in one piece. As he got it tugged pretty good by Lyndon Algier. So faceoff's going to be over in the left circle. 17:55 left in regulation. And how about this forward line? They've been pretty productive tonight. Mikey Colella with John Gillette and Yaroslav Yevdokimov. They've combined for a couple goals this evening. John Gillette in the second period scored his 10th goal of the year as he joined the Grizzlies' double-digit goal-scoring club, which seems to be increasing by the day. Tahoe will throw it deep into the Grizzlies' ice as Dylan Gratton gets there about the same time as a night monster, and that was Trent Swick, the big 6'6" forward. Gillette will slide it out to center ice. John Gillette's brother Mike is a scratch as puck out towards center ice. It's picked off by Colella. He'll get it across to Dylan Gratton, who seems to be a great skater. To center ice for Gillette. It flies off this stick deep in the night monster zone as the Grizzlies will switch up skaters as Boiler's out there with Salem. Now the puck goes out of play as it goes towards the tunnel near section 118. 17:20 left in the third period. Still 6-2 Utah. And the fun thing about an outing like this for the Grizzlies is just about everybody's contributing. All four forward lines seem to be in sync. Manning, Shea, and Barbashev out there on the ice. As we mentioned, the forward line of Yevdokimov, Gillette, and Colella have done some great things. And obviously, Genevieve Connors and Timofeyev are each a +3. And you can't forget about the ever-dangerous forward line that's been outstanding all February of Gratton, Friesen, and Lepster. As Grizzlies will pump it deep into the Tahoe zone over in the right corner. And really a big part of it's continuity. Grizzlies have been a little bit more healthy on the forward lines than they have on either the defense or in the goaltending situation. As McGrew skates around his net, now he feeds up top. Maillet, lefty shot, and that's blocked in front of Miska. Now backhand shot goes wide. That shot was taken by Cholach. Now O'Leary slides it towards his left, and it ricochets off a Tahoe stick back to center ice. So Grizzlies, for the most part here in February, have been able to keep the same forward lines together, and they've really built some great continuity here in the month of February. As it's floated forward deep into the Grizzlies zone from Tahoe, Boiler slides one angle left. It's picked off by Valerian as looked like Boiler was trying to get to Friesen. Puck will slide towards Miska from the right angle, and he will cut it off in the crease and stop play with 16:28 left in the third. So faceoff's going to be in the Grizzlies zone, and for Hunter Miska, for the majority of his career, he's either been in the AHL or a couple stints in the National Hockey League, or he's been overseas. He was a teammate for one season with Tahoe captain Luke Adam, as they both played overseas, as they were with the Straubing Tigers. They were teammates during the 2022-23 season, and during warm-ups, both Adam and Miska were talking at center ice. Grizzlies get the draw as Gratton, left wing lefty shot, saved by Whitehead. Rebound shot, saved by Whitehead again. Second shot was taken by Lepster. And Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw with 16:17 left in the third. Like Grizzlies quick in the transition game. Like Gratton's lefty shot was a little bit crafty. It looked like Whitehead had a tough time corralling it. Puck trickled in front, and Lepster had a second look. So Friesen will take the draw. He's got Lepster to his left and Gratton to his right. And up top is Aiden Hansen-Bukata and Colby Enns. As face-off won by Tahoe. As Valerian will sky it just under the video board, but doesn't hit it. Puck Hipponops at neutral ice just outside the Utah line. As Tahoe will throw it back to their blue line. As we played about 4 minutes of this third period, Utah leads 6-2 as Miska raises his left arm and the linesmen raise their right arm, icing on Tahoe. So John's going to come back towards Cameron Whitehead. For the Grizzlies, it's their third different 6+ goal game against Tahoe this season. For the Grizzlies, it's their 10th game this year where they've scored 6 or more goals. And the Grizzlies have scored 6 or more goals in 3 of their last 7 games. So Grizzlies really getting the job done offensively here in February. And it's not like they're getting it done with the crazy amount of shots. Grizzlies have gotten a great quality with kind of an average level of quantity. Grizzlies get it after Tahoe skied it to center ice. Dylan Gratton looking for his first pro goal. Skates towards left wing. Fires lefty shot saved by Whitehead. But Grizzlies tried to nudge it towards Whitehead. It kicks off them. Night Monsters with a rink-wide feed. They're looking for Stanek. It goes past him. And all the way down for a Tahoe icing with 15:39 left in the third. So another icing by the Night Monsters. Well, it'll be interesting to see the adjustments that both teams make from Wednesday's game on towards Friday. Grizzlies have Connors taking the drive. He's got Timofeyev with 3 assists tonight on his left, and Danny Genev with a 4-point night. And that's certainly not unusual for Danny Genev, who's now up to 49 points this season. As Tahoe wins the faceoff, and they'll rope it out to center ice. Puck heading up towards Boilar. Off his stick, off Stanik's stick. Now Wall right wing. He'll slide one towards Miska. He tried to brush it away as he was sliding towards his left. Genev out to center ice for Timofeyev. He'll get it to the right wing for Connors, who gets off the boards. Connors backhands out in front shot. Rebound shot to score! Stepan Timofeyev gets his 4th point tonight, and his baby's in the refrigerator as the Grizzlies take a 7-2 lead. I think we know who the 3 stars are tonight. In any order, it's Genev, Connors, and Timofeyev. Connors towards the right wing, got it off the wall. As he backhanded out in front, it kicked off the right pad of Whitehead. Timofeyev got the rebound, and he fired it past the goal line. And that's another point for Riley Connors. That will be his 3rd point tonight. He gets the main assist. He's now up to 1 goal and 2 assists. And guess who also gets a point? Danny Genev gets his 5th point of the night. That's his 2nd 5-point effort in recent memory. So how about that? Those are the 3 stars tonight. Genev with 5 points. Tahoe gets the left goal line. Tried to center it. Ricocheting off the Miska stick. Flies about 10 feet in front of the crease. As Boilar gets the puck. He's on the near wing. And he will sky it out towards the Tahoe line. As the Grizzlies will fit in a line change. Time of Timofeyev's goal, 4:42 into the 3rd. Tahoe throws the puck in. No icing as they make a full line change. Manning races across center ice. 7 goals for the Grizzlies tonight. Manning left wing. His shot is blocked away by the glove of Whitehead. A little bit surprised he's still in there. As Grizzlies bounce one towards the left corner. As Dylan Gratton tried to center it to Manning. Puck stayed in the corner. As the Night Monsters back towards the near wing. McGrew to Merritt. Now back towards McGrew. Skates to the right side. Righty shot saved by Miska. As Merritt and McGrew just kept playing catch back and forth at neutral ice. Tahoe fires it in. Miska cuts it off behind his net. As Night Monsters make another line change. Dylan Gratton will feed it towards Hanson Bukata. As Grizzlies are working with 5 defensemen right now with Andrew Noel in the box for about 14 minutes. Puck was played with a high stick as Hanson Bukata tried to throw it out to neutral ice. 13:50 left in the 3rd period. Utah leads 7-2 as Danny Genev has 1 goal and 4 assists. Stepan Timofeyev has 1 goal and 3 assists. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Grizzlies have goals from 7 different players this evening. It's the Grizzlies 7 and the Night Monsters 2 as there's 13 minutes and 50 seconds left in regulation. It's the 5th time this season the Grizzlies have scored at least 7 goals in a game. Draws a new try near the Grizzlies bench. Utah has outshot Tahoe 31-18. As Grizzlies have already taken 8 shots here in the first 6.5 minutes of this 3rd period. Evan Friesen floats it ahead towards the Tahoe line. Now Friesen gets it back along the left wing and kicks off his skate. He's battling with Kevin Wall. As Salem fires it back around the wall. As it ricochets off as it hit off a Whitehead's stick. As Colby Hens from neutral ice fires it back into the middle of the ice where it's taken by Samuel Maye. Maye across the center. He'll push it to his left. Puck will slide towards the far corners. End sidesteps a check from Maye. As Salem in the area along with Barbashev. Now Salem curls his way around a Night Monster. Keeps control of the puck. Salem races out to neutral ice. He's got good speed. And he will sauce one all the way. Gets about 2 feet of air under on towards Whitehead. He makes a stop and he covers up. 13:07 left in the third. Salem fires Utah's 32nd shot of the night. Grizzlies had a season-high 9 goals on February 4th against Tahoe. Utah had a 7-goal performance on December 19th, 2025 at Kansas City. Coincidentally enough, that's the last time Kansas City has lost at home. And then 2 days later, Grizzlies scored 6 third-period goals and scored 7 against Tulsa in the final game before the Christmas break. And Utah also had 7 goals against Tahoe on February 6th. That was the second of that 3-game series over at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Remember, they scored 5 goals in about 4 minutes. Tahoe in the left wing, they're in the offensive zone. Righty shot, saved by Miska. Rebound shot, and a score. As it's now a 7-3 game. As that's the second rebound goal. And it might be the first pro goal for Eric Olson as they retrieve the puck. It's at least his first as a night monster, as Eric Olson looks like collects the rebound, and Olson slid it past the goal line. So for Eric Olson, a recent addition to the club, and you bet saved that puck. That's his first ECHL goal. He scored 12 goals in a 2-season stretch in the SPHL with the Knoxville Ice Bears. And they collect the puck. It's the first pro goal for Eric Olson as he scores 7:15 into the third period, with the assist going to Jake Derflinger and Dawson McKinney. McKinney with his first assist of the year. It's a 7-3 game. Genev centers to Connors. Shot, a score! Genev to Connors to the back of the net. It's 8-3 Utah. Have a night, Genev, Connors, Timofeyev. How about that? Genev gets his 6th point tonight as he just centered it to Connors, and Connors just fired the puck past Whitehead. Grizzlies with 8 goals on 32 shots. Genev slid to the middle of the ice. Connors, his one-timer, went glove side as Whitehead kind of drifted towards his right, and Connors kind of fed it back. Glove side on Whitehead. Incredible. You talk about the forward line of Genev, Connors, and Timofeyev. They have been absolutely dominant. And for Danny Genev, that's a career-high 6 points. He had another 5-point night pretty recently as Dylan Gratton throws it past Mikey Colella. It's going to go all the way down, and it's going to be a Utah icing with 12:05 left in the third. Genev had 1 goal and 4 assists on February 4th against Tahoe. So he has 2 games against the Night Monsters of at least 5 points. He's got a 6-point effort this evening. 1 goal and 5 assists. I think he's 1 away from the team record for assists in a game that was set by Andrew Nelson and Tim McGauley. And in recent memory, I think the 6-assist game that Andrew Nelson had was in Kansas City and was a big part as to why he was named to the All-Star team in 2023. So it's going to be a draw in the Grizzlies zone, far circle. The forward line of Genev, Connors, and Timofeyev are each a +5. As they're continuing to calculate all the goals in the ECHL app. As John Gillette gets the puck, he'll look to Sarty of Dakamov. It's picked off, goes back to Gillette. He fires lefty shot, saved by Whitehead. And he holds on with 11:47 left in the third. And you kind of wonder, if not just for being in the situation where, it's a little bit one-sided, why Whitehead's still in there. As Straw's going to be over in the right circle of the Night Monsters zone. As they're continuing to try to calculate the stats on the ECHL box score. It's hard to keep track of all these goals here. As Grizzlies scored 12 seconds after a Tahoe goal. Left wing, Boileau will take a lefty shot that's blocked. There's 11.5 minutes left in the third period. And we're going to have to do some digging as the Grizzlies are towards some team records. Tahoe looks to center it, and it kicks off a Miscu, slides towards his right. Now out in front, Night Monsters trying to pitch it towards Valerian, and it goes wide. As Salem collides with Stanek. Stanek's a strong forward. As Stanek goes after Salem. That's going to be a penalty on Stanek As Salem was on the back check behind Stanek, Stanek just turned around and gave him a left punch with his glove. That's got to be a roughing minor at least. And now it looks like a bit of a commotion. As it looked like Kevin Wall dragged down Boilar, who's trying to get back to his feet. Now Boilar's going after a night monster. It's 8-3, and both teams getting a little bit chippy here about halfway through the third period. As the linesmen are kind of pleading for Salem and a few others. Now looks like Maye and Boilar are really getting after it. And remember, the Grizzlies a little bit short with defensemen, with Noel hanging out in the penalty box for about 14 minutes. Boilar continues to kind of hold the jersey of Maye. So Valerian's having some words. He's going to the penalty box. He's yelling at Luke Manning. So Valerian's going to go in for Tahoe, and it looks like Manning's going to serve a penalty for the Grizzlies. As Valerian and Luke Manning yell at each other. Manning looks like he's smiling. He's having a good time. After all, I think the Grizzlies a little bit more lighthearted with it being an 8-3 score. As Tahoe, they're one of the bigger teams the Grizzlies will face all season, and so they kind of want to initiate some action out in front of the net. So Manning and Valerian have some words. So does Noel. He's out there with Poliani. Now it looks like Stanek's going to the box as well, and so is Luke Salem. Not sure why Salem's going in. After all, it was now Valerian. He's leaning towards and having a conversation with Luke Manning. So 3 Night Monsters and 3 Grizzlies are hanging out in the penalty box. There's 11:19 left in the third period, and the Grizzlies have an 8-3 lead. Other than that, not much has happened this evening. High spirit here at Maverick Center. Attendance has been announced, 2,587. And no doubt they've gotten their money's worth this evening. It's Valerian yelling at the Grizzlies penalty box. Stanek, he just turned around and slugged Salem. That stopped play, and then Boilar took it up with Stanek, and then Valerian grabbed Boilar from behind by the neck. And then Kevin Wall, he got after it. He started staring at Salem, and then Boilar got dragged to the ice, and everything just kind of accelerated from there. So it looks like the 3 Grizzlies and 3 Night Monsters in the penalty box are having a heated conversation. It looks like it's more heated on the Tahoe side than it is the Grizzlies' end. The box score on the ECHL app still has it as a 7-3 game. You talk about computer overload. That's what they probably got over there. Grizzlies with 3 goals in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 already in the third period. As 2 referees are going to have their hands full trying to keep the peace here in the final 11 minutes of regulation. And don't forget, this is just the opener of a 3-game series. For the Grizzlies, they've got, 27 goals in 11 and a half periods against Tahoe. So Manning skates from the penalty box towards the locker room. As it looks like Manning is going to be walking towards the locker room. And now it looks like Valerian's going to go to the locker room for Tahoe. And as Valerian gets a hand from the Maverick Center crowd, as he walks by Jackson Hibbard, the equipment manager. There's the third glance of Jackson Hibbard tonight. We might count that over the course of the series. How many times on Flow Sports we show Jackson Hibbard? So there's going to be a few penalties here. So now there's 2 players in the penalty box on either side. It's possible that Manning and Valerian each are going to get an early shower. There's Jackson Hibbard once again. He's not looking up. He knows he's being shown on the video board. He's just working on the tape. That's the first. You know what he's doing right now? When Eric Olson scored Tahoe's 3rd goal, that was 7.5 minutes into the third period. It was 7:15, and it was his first pro goal. So Jackson Hibbard's getting that puck ready to give to Eric Olson later on tonight. So despite Tahoe being down 5, they have a positive there with Olson. He just joined the Night Monsters earlier today. His first ECHL goal. He scored 12 goals in a season and a half in the SPHL with Knoxville. And now the referees are talking with the Grizzlies bench. I think they've had their word with the Tahoe bench. Faceoff's going to be at neutral ice. And it looks like we're skating 5-on-5. After all that, we're going to skate 5-on-5. As draws at neutral ice, Grizzlies are up 8-3. There's 11 minutes and 19 seconds left in regulation. Tahoe wins the faceoff, and puck skies out of play. And that goes deep into section 117. Maybe even went into the upper deck. I think everybody's looking up towards the upper deck. I think it had ended up near one of those. No, it looks like there's the puck right there. That's deep into the lower bowl here at Maverick Center. And hopefully everybody's okay. So faceoff's going to be at center ice. It's won by Tahoe. Boy, the Night Monsters have an edge in the faceoff circle tonight as it's backhanded in and rolls towards the right side. Hanson Bucata gets rammed into by Eric Olson. Olson's an assist and a fight away from a Gordie Howe hat trick. Webster dancing around. Timofeyev joins the play. Make that Hanson Bucata over to Dylan Gratton, who slides one angle right off a Friesen skate. Puck will slide onto Whitehead, who covers up. And that will stop play. So the Grizzlies penalties. Luke Manning got 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. Salem got 2 for slashing. Boilar got 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. For Tahoe, Valerian got 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. Maye got 2 for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. And Sloan Stanek got 2 minutes for roughing. And it was Stanek going from behind, turning around and slugging Luke Salem that really started the commotion. And yet him and Salem are the two that only pick up minor penalties. So there's 10:48 left in the third. It's an offensive zone face-off for Utah in the right circle. Pretty much everybody's contributed to the Grizzlies' attack. They have goals from 7 different players. Gratton over to John Gillette. Left wing will take a lefty shot and hits the post. He fired it stick side and hit the post as Whitehead kind of extended his pad out a little bit. Gillette looking for his second goal of the game. He's got 10 goals this season. Grizzlies will float it deep into the Night Monsters zone. As Tahoe with the puck, they'll slide one angle right, but it's overled for Jake McGrew. And it goes all the way down for a Night Monsters icing with 10:21 left in regulation. So in terms of double-digit goal scorers for the Grizzlies this year, John Gillette is the 6th different player to have 10 or more goals. Reed Lepster leads the way with 28 goals this season. Danny Genev and Evan Friesen each have 1 tonight and 17 on the season. Tyler Gratton has, does Gratton have a goal tonight? I think he doesn't. Gratton's got 15. We got papers all over the place here. Riley Connors, 2 goals tonight. He's got 15 on the year. Grizzlies in the offensive zone as Genev's got 6 points tonight, 1 goal and 5 assists. Puck goes up top to Hanson Bucata. He'll get it back in deep to Connors, who's on hat trick watch. Connors trying to get to Timofeyev. It's picked off by Mike O'Leary. O'Leary behind Tahoe's net. And Gillette's the 6th different Grizzly to score 10 or more goals this season as he picked up his 10th in the second period. Luke Adam will drop it off as McGrew over the offensive line. Try to lay it for Adam, but Adam was skating towards the right corner. Adam off this stick, puck deep in the Grizzly zone. Now it's taken by Riley Connors. Connors ahead to Timofeyev, left wing, and Timo will throw it in. Stepan Timofeyev with 1 goal and 3 assists, although we're still calculating all the Grizzlies' points here. Out to center ice, Algier will move it in as ricochets off Miska's glove. Grizzlies back at center ice. Shea walks into the right side. He's got pretty good speed. It's brushed away by Kalen Taylor. Shea hits Taylor along the boards, and the Night Monsters back up with it. 9:10 on the moving clock here in the second period. From center ice, Kevin Wall will kick it off the right pad of Hunter Miska. Now left point, Night Monsters dance around. Cholach collides with Barbashev. Now the puck towards the left wing as Kevin Wall dances around. He surveys. Now he slides towards the middle of the ice. Wall gets around 2 Grizzlies, slithers in. He'll take a righty shot that's blocked. It was blocked before it got to Miska, who was down stacking the pads in the crease. Neil Shea gets to the Tahoe line. He'll float a lefty shot that's gloved by Whitehead. And Shea will come off the ice as there's 8.5 minutes left in the third period. Crowd a little bit quiet right now. So they're just kind of surveying things. And with kind of physical play lingering back and forth, right wing backhand shot that goes wide, taken by Eric Olson, who's got 1 goal tonight, which is his first in this league. I think with the physical stuff, I think fans are going to kind of linger a little bit towards the final buzzer just in case something else breaks out in the final 8 minutes of regulation. Grizzlies ahead to Friesen off his stick as Merritt collides along with McKinney. As right wing, Derflinger fires a righty shot that's blocked off the stick of Dylan Gratton, who picked up an assist tonight in the second period. As Gratton brushed it ahead as he tried to sidestep Derflinger. Gratton celebrating his 23rd birthday. Right wing lefty shot saved by Miska. Puck in front of the crease. Adam trying to push it to his left, and it's cut off by Lepster. Reed Lepster 2-on-2, crosses center ice. He accelerates over the offensive line, gets around a Night Monster. I'll take a righty shot, and that's sticked away by Whitehead. It might have gotten brushed by a Night Monster defenseman trailing the play. McKinney gets around Gillette, skates towards the middle of the ice before it's knifed away by Colby Enns. John Gillette moves it out to center ice where it's taken back by Kalen Taylor. Grizzlies will switch up forwards. Friesen trying to play the puck as he was skating off the ice. Miska behind his net wearing number 35, which was previously worn this year by Dominic Bassey. As the Night Monsters left wing, Adam gets it sticked away by Colby Enns. Now Adam gets it knifed away by Enns. Grizzlies slide it back towards Genev, who gets cut off by Tahoe. Now the Night Monsters back at their blue line. About 7 minutes left in regulation. It's 8-3 Grizzlies. Riley Connors with 2 goals. Danny Genev 1 goal and 5 assists. Timofeyev with an outstanding game. As the puck deep in the Grizzlies zone. Grizzlies out towards center ice off a Tahoe stick. Night Monsters re-enter. Jordan Gustafson, the reigning league player of the week. He had a hat trick last Saturday against Idaho. He scored the first goal of the game for Tahoe. This will drop it to the right point. Algier skates around Genev, looks for a lefty shot, and that's blocked away. Boy, Grizzlies doing a good job protecting the crease tonight. McGrew behind his net, dancing back and forth, being shadowed by John Gillette. Boy, John Gillette's played a solid two-way game once again tonight as Tahoe backends it up top. Merritt around the boards. Trent Zwick, who had a strong goal-scoring streak towards the new year as he's battling behind the net with Colby Enns. Now Zwick loses the puck as Connors gets held up. Second time this season, the Grizzlies have scored 8 or more goals, and both times it's been against Tahoe. Taylor just curled the puck back, and the puck exited back to neutral ice, so offside of the Night Monsters. 6:02 is left in the third period. Both teams will be off tomorrow. Same teams here on Friday night. And as Taylor just kind of tried to whip the puck back, and it exited to neutral ice. So Luke Salem and Sloan Stanek each come out of the box. How about the night for Danny Genev? 6 points tonight. He now has 51 points on the season, which leads all league rookies. Also leads the Grizzlies. He came into play leading the league in shots on goal. Well, what can you say? Danny Genev should be the favorite for the league's Rookie of the Year award, which means more press releases after the season. Hey, we're okay with that. Anything to extend the season as long as possible. Grizzlies back deep in their own zone with the puck. As Utah out to center ice off a Barbashev's stick. Whitehead plays behind his net. Whitehead, a former 4th-round pick by Vegas. Maxim Barbashev, whose brother Ivan Barbashev is a star for the Vegas Golden Knights. As over in the left corner, Kallela battles. Now a puck is taken back by Tahoe. He'll slide it out to center ice. Cholach back in his own zone. As he steps over the line, stops on a dime in the left point. So he'll drop it off. As Night Monsters dance around. They'll drop it back to Cholach, who's challenged by Barbashev. Barbashev goes down and slides it back towards Tahoe ice. So Grizzlies will switch up skaters. This is a very quiet crowd, just kind of observing things. Grizzlies have a strong lead. It will be Utah's 5th home victory of the season. As Lepster chips it ahead, looking for Neil Shea. It's tapped by Algier's stick. And now over in the corner, Algier plays the puck. Lyndon Algier, the big defenseman. He'll fire it off the glass. It bounced off the Salem's glove. McGrew gets it towards the left wing, looking for a centering pass, but the puck floated. Might have gotten a piece with Colby Enns. Grizzlies will rainbow it out to center ice. There's Merritt. Ed near the Grizzlies bench. Luke Adams slides one across to McGrew. McGrew toe drag right side. Stops as he's being challenged by Salem. Right wing lefty shot. Saved by Miska. That shot was taken by Mike O'Leary. Puck will slide back towards the Tahoe blue line. Run down by Cholach as he was being chased by Tyler Gratton. Out towards the right wing as Adam skates in on Miska, fires the lefty shot, and that's kicked away by Miska. Those guys were teammates a few years ago overseas. Right point, shot by Cholak, save. McGrew with a shot, save by Miska. And he holds on with 4:11 left in the third. Grizzlies lead 8-3. It's the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
And what a night of hockey we have had here at Maverick Center as the Utah Grizzlies lead the Tahoe Night Monsters 8-3. Grizzlies have scored 27 goals in their last 11 and a half periods against Tahoe. And tonight was dominated by the forward line of Danny Genev, Riley Connors, and Stepan Timofeyev. Utah wins the draw with a 5-goal lead as they'll push it out to center ice looking for Danny Genev. 6 points tonight. I think the team record, if I remember right, is 7. As that might have been set by Tim McGauley a handful of years ago. Rink-wide feed picked off by Hanson Bukata. And he will saucer it in as Connors. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists tonight, does Riley Connors. The forward line of Timofeyev, Connors, and Genev are each a +4. Danny Genev, 1 goal and 5 assists. Connors, 2 goals and 2 assists. Timofeyev, 1 goal and 3 assists. Grizzlies plopping in from neutral ice as there's 3.5 minutes left in regulation. As puck off a stick. And if you're thinking about the Grizzlies and a potential playoff run, getting standings points against Tahoe specifically is critical, as Tahoe right now is in 4th place in the Mountain Division. As John Gillette gets the puck, he's got a goal tonight. Grizzlies have goals from 7 different players. Lefty shot saved by Whitehead, as Grizzlies have 8 goals on 35 shots tonight. Kevin Walver to the left wing, back towards Wall in the give and go. He skates towards the left circle. Shot, kick, saved by Miska. Hunter Miska is playing here in the 3rd period as he replaced Kyle Kaiser, who we believe suffered a lower body injury. Since the Grizzlies scored 6 goals in the first 2 periods, unless Tahoe scores 4 more goals in the final 3 minutes of regulation, Kyle Kaiser will be the winning goaltender. Left wing, righty shot. That's blocked by a Grizzly stick. It stays in play. Alger over to McKinney, who tries to feed it to the middle of the ice, and Derflinger centers it. Lefty shot, saved by Miska. That shot was taken by Luke Adam. Adam and Miska were teammates a handful of years ago overseas for a year. They talked before the game. Neil Shea in his first home game in the 2026 calendar year throws it out towards center ice. Puck ahead. And it's thrown in by McKinney, but it's icing on Tahoe with 2:14 left in regulation. Attendance tonight, 2,587. So John's going to come back towards Cameron Whitehead, who's a good goaltender that's had a tough night. So Friesen will take the draw. He's got Lepster to his left and Tyler Gratton to his right. And up top is Andrew Noel and Luke Salem. As Friesen will take the draw. He scored a first period power play goal, 17-23 in. As he's taken 2 shots tonight. Reed Lepster 1 assist. Tyler Gratton, believe it or not, hasn't scored a point. Gratton's been outstanding here in the month of February for the Grizzlies as Tahoe will slide it back to center ice. And it is floated forward by Salem as the puck got about 20 feet of air under it. 2 minutes left in the period. Gratton's got a point in 9 of his last 11 games, but even though the Grizzlies have 8, And Gratton's played a good game tonight. Doesn't have a point. A minute 50 left in the third period as Hunter Miska looks over his right shoulder as a scrum ensues. Webster looking nearby. Friesen joins the play. Salem holding his ground along with Noel. Puck towards the left wing. Righty shot saved by Miska. And he holds on. Boy, the puck trickled from the scrum over towards the left circle as Devin Poliani had a pretty good look. As Poliani fired away, and Miska made a grade A save. Boy, in the goaltending combination of Kaiser and Miska, I would say if they're going to be here the rest of the season, Grizzlies will certainly they'll be a tough team to beat. As Poliani had a great look, and boy, Miska did a good job. Allowed a rebound there. Then the second look trickled on to Miska, who made a stop. If you think about it, he hasn't played professionally all season. But last Saturday against Allen, he looked like he was in mid-season form, and Miska looks to be in rare and fine form here so far tonight. Grizzlies ice the puck. Tahoe has built a picket fence in terms of the scoring sheet. 1 goal in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. For the Grizzlies, they put up crooked numbers. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, and 2 goals in the third. So faceoff's going to be over in the right circle. And puck is won by Tahoe. Kalen Taylor, right wing lefty shot, saved by Miska off his left ankle. Now around the net. McGrew, he fires towards the net, and that's blocked. As Grizzlies will plop it forward. As Genev tried to get the bouncing puck, but it went over a stick. A minute 12 left in the third period. As Dylan Gratton plays the puck. I got one question. Mark Larson, how much time is left here in the third period of play?
1 minute remaining in the third period.
Thank you, Mark. Ends ahead to Genev. Steps over the offensive blue, skates towards the right circle, fires lefty shot, and it glanced off of Whitehead's glove and stays in play. Boy, 6 points tonight for Genev. He has 2 different 5-point games against Tahoe this season. He had 1 goal and 4 assists against Tahoe, right point. Derflinger skips one on towards Misku, keeps the play alive. 1 goal and 4 assists against Tahoe on February 4th, and 1 goal and 5 assists here tonight. 30 seconds left as Miska points towards the center of the ice as O'Leary slides to the middle of the ice. Merritt fires over the crossbar. Puck will trickle towards the right circle as Noel will skip it up but not out. 19 seconds left in regulation. And for the Grizzlies, they put together an offensive barrage over the last 4 games against Tahoe where they have scored 27 goals in 4 games. 8 seconds left. Grizzlies are now going to be 5-2-3 in the month of February with standings points in 8 of 10. They're looking to make a playoff run, and it starts here tonight. Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win! Grizzlies won 8-3, and there is no doubt about it. Danny Genev had 1 goal and 5 assists. Riley Connors had 2 goals and 2 assists. Stepan Timofeyev had 1 goal and 3 assists. The Grizzlies got goals from 7 different skaters. And what an outstanding effort all around. Just about everybody contributed to the cause. As high fives all around. As John Buchanan pounds knuckles with just about everybody on the Grizzlies bench. What an effort tonight as the Grizzlies have just been dominant offensively here in the month of February. Utah has scored 46 goals in 10 games in February. As the fans salute the Grizzlies, and it's certainly well-deserved. I don't think there's any doubt who the 3 stars of the game are. They're all on the same forward line. It's just a question of who's 1, who's 2, and who's 3. As Grisby waving the flag at center ice. Things got a little bit chippy in the third period, and you wonder if that's going to carry over into Friday night. Grizzlies had 46 minutes worth of penalties. Tahoe had 44 penalty minutes this evening. So you're going to want to make your plans to come on out to Maverick Center for Friday night in the second of a 3-game series. And for the Grizzlies, obviously with good goaltending over the last handful of games, with just about everybody contributing, and really with the forwards solidifying things, they built a lot of continuity. And because of that, the Grizzlies not only have played great hockey offensively, but defensively, they've kind of calmed things down to the point where you wonder, with this victory tonight, the Grizzlies get 2 points closer to the 4 seed. Grizzlies now have 47 standings points and a record of 20, 25, and 7. Tahoe, their record falls to 26, 21, 2, and 3. Utah is now 10 points back of a potential playoff spot. Remember, the Grizzlies are going to be home quite a bit in the final month and a half of the regular season. Here's the 3 stars of the game.
Number 10, Stepan Timofeyev with 1 goal and 3 assists.
Timofeyev also a +4 for Utah.
Our second star of the night with 2 goals and 2 assists, number 12, Riley Connors.
Connors also a +4 for the Grizzlies tonight.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire.
And finally, your first star of the game with 1 goal and 5 assists, number 26, Danny Genio.
He was also a +4 tonight. Now here's Danny Genio with Sammy Miller.
Throw it down to Sammy with tonight's first star, Danny Genio.
Congratulations on the win, and how about the offense tonight with 8 goals? What allowed you all to be so dominant in the O-zone?
Yeah, I don't know. Our line was just clicking today. Something happened this morning. I don't know what happened, but yeah, both my line mates were on fire, and the team played good D-zone, so that definitely translated into our offense.
And you had yourself a night with 6 points, so what unlocked all of the success for your goal and also 5 assists?
Yeah, all credit to my line mates. I mean, if they're not in the open areas, I can't find them, so all credit to them. Without them, I mean, it's not really a thing. So super happy that they're on my line, and I can't wait to play with them for the rest of the season.
And speaking of this series in particular, how important was it to come out and set the tone in game 1 against a tough team in Tahoe?
Yeah, I mean, this series is super important, right? We're battling for a playoff spot right now, and we're chasing Tahoe. So this is a massive series, and it was great to get that first one for sure.
Awesome. Congratulations. Go celebrate the guys.
Thank you.
So Danny Genio with 6 points tonight, 1 goal and 5 assists. He has 51 points this season, as Geniev has 17 goals and 34 assists on the year. He leads the Grizzlies with 51 points, and he's done just about everything. He got 14th multiple-point game of the season. He got that done early in the first period. Now, what can you say? It was that forward line of Geniev, Connors, and Timofeyev, but it really goes beyond that. As Friesen had the power play goal, John Gillette with the goal. We'll go over all the scoring here shortly. Kyle Kaiser gets the victory in net. That's the one downside tonight, as Kaiser appears to have picked up a lower body injury. His record goes to 6-3 in a Grizzlies uniform. Hunter Miska played the final 20 minutes of play, and he stopped 18 of 19. Tahoe had 19 third-period shots. Hunter Miska will get a no decision. He got a good workout in. But Kaiser's the winning goaltender, and the losing goaltender is Cameron Whitehead, who saved 28 of 36. We know we're throwing a ton of numbers at you, but the Grizzlies get their 5th home win of the year. Their record goes to 20-25-7 on the campaign. It was Tahoe that got the first goal of the game. A minute 9 in, it was Jordan Gustafson, the reigning league player of the week. He fired it off of Kaiser, got it back. Then the second looked like it ricocheted off the glove of Kaiser and trickled past the goal line to give the Night Monsters a 1-0 lead. That was 1:09 into the contest. Sloan Stanek and Lyndon Algier each picked up an assist. 26 seconds later, it was Geniev getting Utah on the board. It was the 17th of the year. Riley Connors and Stepan Timofeyev each picked up an assist. Grizzlies took a 2-1 lead as Timofeyev skated the puck into the offensive zone, dropped it off in the left point for Geniev. Geniev with a cross-ice feed to the left circle for Connors. And Riley Connors fired a one-timer past the goal line as he looked like he got the puck under the arm of Whitehead. And that gave Utah a 2-1 lead as Connors got his first of 2 on the night as he picked up his 14th of the season. Utah got a power play late in the first period as Lyndon Algier got a tripping minor, 16:34 in. Grizzlies had the puck on the right side. Geniev mishit a one-timer, and puck went across. Lepster got it in the left circle, centered it to Friesen, and Friesen with that quick release got it past Whitehead before the Tahoe goaltender knew what hit him. That made it a 3-1 game as Friesen got his 17th of the year. Lepster and Geniev each picked up an assist. Utah finished the night 1 for 2 on the power play. Tahoe was 1 for 3. Now, you think about those power play opportunities, 3 for Tahoe, 2 for Utah. However, the penalty minutes, Grizzlies had 46 penalty minutes and Tahoe had 44. Most of them came 8:41 into the third periods. Utah led 3-1 after 20 minutes. They outshot the Night Monsters 10-7. As the highlights roll on Flow Sports, if you're watching, Grizzlies took a 4-3 lead. Goal that turned out to be the game winner as Luke Salem had the puck on a delayed penalty in the high slot. Fired a lefty shot. It was redirected by Maxim Barbashev and into the back of the net. Barbashev gets credited for his second game winner of the season. He now has 4 goals in the campaign. That was 6:45 in. Then the Grizzlies extended the lead to 5-1 when John Gillette scored his 10th of the year, with Yaroslav Yevdokimov and Mikey Kolella getting the assists. And that was, that's what made this a fun night, is all 4 forward lines contributed. And the forward line of Gillette, Yevdokimov, and Kolella each played an outstanding game. As John Gillette made it a 5-1 game, he scored 9:16 in. Grizzlies extended the lead. Actually, it was Tahoe that scored the next goal of the game, 15:53 in. As Sloan Stanek got a 16th of the year. Artur Cholach with the assist. That was a power play goal. And it was really an outstanding individual effort by Stanek, getting around just about everybody on the Grizzlies defensive unit. And he kind of split a triple team, just kind of nudged the puck past Noel and then skated around Noel and fired it past Kyle Kaiser. Sometime late in the second period, Kaiser extended his left pad out and maybe overextended himself trying to deny Jake McGrew and came up limping a little bit, stayed in the game for the rest of the second period. Then it looked like he re-aggravated it later on in these second periods. So when Stanek scored the power play goal, 15:53, and that made it a 5-2 game. Grizzlies got their 6th goal of the night, 17:35 in, as Andrew Noel making his Maverick Center debut. He appeared in each of the 2 games for the Grizzlies last week in Allen. He was just acquired last week in a trade with the Cincinnati Cyclones. Noel had the puck on the right side, backhanded it out in front, and it ricocheted off a Night Monster and into the back of Tahoe's net. Noel with his first as a Grizzly and 3rd overall in the season, as he had 2 goals and 7 assists in a Cyclones uniform this year. Timofeyev and Genev each picked up an assist. That made it a 6-2 game, and that's where it stood after 2 periods. And coming into the third period, Hunter Miska replaced Kaiser in net, and certainly we hope it's nothing major for Kyle Kaiser. And boy, between goaltenders and defensemen, the Grizzlies have gone through a ton of injuries so far this season. Grizzlies scored the first goal of the third period, 4:42 in, as Timofeyev got his 8th of the year, with Riley Connors and Danny Genev each picking up the assists. Tahoe scored their 3rd goal of the game, 7:15 in, on kind of a scramble play out in front. It turned out to be Eric Olson's first pro goal, but he did score 12 goals in the SPHL for Knoxville over a season and a half stretch. McKinney and Derflinger each picked up an assist for the Night Monsters. The final goal of the game was scored by Riley Connor, 7:27 in, assisted by Danny Genev. And I don't know that I've seen a forward line dominate a game like this since the 2019-2020 season with the M&M and the News line. Ty Lewis, Tim McGauley, and Griffin Molino. With Ty Lewis kind of being the news, a playoff Huey Lewis in the news. And that was a forward line that was outstanding for the Grizzlies in the shortened, canceled season back in 2020. And the way Genev, Connors, and Timofeyev played tonight kind of were shades of M&M in the News with McGauley, Molino, and Ty Lewis. So there's no doubt those were the 3 stars of the game. That was announced right after the contest. Timofeyev was the 3rd star with 1 goal and 3 assists. Connors with 2 goals and 2 assists, and Danny Genev with a 6-point night, 1 goal and 5 assists. A little bit of intrigue and physical play in the third period. 8:41 into the third. A little bit of a scramble by players as Samuel Maye each picked up a 2. Maye and C.J. Valerian each picked up a 2 and a 10. Stanek picked up a roughing minor. Boilar and Manning each picked up a 2 and a 10, and Salem picked up a slashing minor. And all that was 8:41 into the third period. And with that, the penalty minutes rose to where Tahoe had 44 and Utah had 43 for the contest. As the highlights keep rolling on Flow Sports, there's the Grizzlies' 7th goal of the night. Connors with a backhand shot, and for him to even get a shot off around a Night Monster with a little bit of velocity onto Whitehead, as a ricocheted off the pad of Whitehead, and Timofeyev was right there to collect the rebound for the Grizzlies' seventh goal of the night, and that was 4:42 into the third period. And I guess for a bright spot for Tahoe is Eric Olson getting his first league goal, as we saw Jackson Hibbard, the equipment manager, working on the puck to celebrate the first pro goal. And then they're on Flow Sports. There's Riley Connors, second of the night and 15th of the year. Connors has 10 goals and 5 assists in 10 games in February. So he's averaging a goal per game in the month. And once again, that forward line, that's the story tonight. The other big story was the professional debut for Dylan Gratton, the younger brother of Tyler Gratton. Dylan Gratton celebrating his 23rd birthday, and he picked up 1 assist. Looks like he's going to be a keeper. Looks like a quick skater who makes quick decisions with the puck. Dylan Gratton had a pretty solid pro debut, and with that, it's a productive one. He reunites not only with Tyler Gratton, obviously they're brothers, and they reunite quite often, I imagine, especially during the off season. But you think about those two that were teammates at Penn State during the 2022-23 season, and those two were also a teammate with Danny Genev at Penn State. So it was pretty much a Penn State reunion tonight here at Maverick Center, and it's probably going to be that case all season long. Dylan Gratton is the 52nd player to appear in a game for the Grizzlies this season. The team record is 63. No, that's the number of players that was used during the 1996-97 season. I think I left the audience hanging with that particular fun fact, but obviously we'll go over that quite a bit throughout the rest of the regular season. We're wondering about special teams playing a factor, and I got to imagine both Friday and Saturday night we're going to see some special teams opportunities. And remember, Tahoe's got the second best power play in the league. Night Monsters were 1 for 3 on the power play, and the Grizzlies are 1 for 2. So Utah is 17 for 54 on the power play over the last 16 games. So a lot of good things happened here at Maverick Center tonight. And, hey, you're going to want to make sure to come on down this weekend for Grizz Fight Cancer Weekend. And make sure to come on down here and watch some great hockey at an affordable price. And it should be a ton of fun. Grizzlies and the Night Monsters. And with Utah's victory tonight, they are now 10 points behind fourth place Tahoe. And obviously that's important as the top 4 teams in each division make the playoffs. And, with Miska and net, and we certainly hope that Kaiser isn't going to be out too long with the lower body injury. We got a feeling that the Grizzlies, especially with a lot of home games and a lot of games against teams that are towards the bottom of the standings in their respective divisions, I got a feeling the Grizzlies are going to make a run here over the next month and a half, a race to the playoffs. And who knows, Grizzlies came pretty close. They put together a strong postseason run, coming up just a game short back in 2024. I got a feeling, the Grizzlies traditionally have been a strong second half of the season club. And really with the Grizzlies kind of solidifying things, even though they've continued to get injuries, both with defensemen or goaltenders. With the way the Grizzlies have been scoring here in the month of February, that even if they just get average defensive production the rest of the season, I got a feeling they're going to put together a pretty strong run towards a postseason spot. You're going to want to be part of it, as it's the Grizzlies' final hunt, and you're going to want to make some great memories here at Maverick Center over the next month and a half. Well, that'll just about wrap things up as everybody's filed out of here. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. I know if you're a Grizzlies fan, you enjoyed the final outcome, as Utah has now scored 27 goals in their last 4 games head-to-head against the Tahoe Night Monsters. Once again, in 2 hours and 35 minutes, in front of a crowd of 2,587, it's the Utah Grizzlies 8 and the Tahoe Night Monsters 3. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream, and that's to someday get to the National Hockey League. You've been listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Good night, everybody.